morning, afternoon, you are, and welcome to NerdTube. And it's time to talk about the end of the week because the world has gone mad. I'm your filling host for today, Zam. As unfortunately, Penny is in the MMH mode, which is masturbating, masticating, or hibernating. He's usually one of those three if he's unavailable. But we still have our usual co-host when it comes to these sort of things. First of all, D Jose 101, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Wonderful. And Gaz, how you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Fantastic. So, we're going to talk about a few things before we talk about our first subject. We're obviously going to talk about Trump's indictment. I'm going to talk to you guys about my first time dealing with a Karen. I had that yesterday, which was interesting. Um, we are going to talk about I'll briefly talk about the Flash. No spoilers. Ubisoft will be spoken about. I played my first ever Final Fantasy game. That was FF16.
I got to
which we
download that shit. I pre-ordered Spider-Man today.
Fair enough. Boris Johnson resigning as a member of parliament and now working for the Daily Mail. So typical politician. They no longer become a politician and they work in the media immediately in some capacity. Um, so yeah, there's some of the things. But what we're going to talk about first? We've got a couple of
I got a
lovely
question
wrestling guys
because this
with
is a
us.
good
Yeah, go on.
this is a good segue. Is the Karen you dealt with a bigger Karen than CM Punk? Because that's our first topic that we got to talk about.
I don't know. Like CM Punk is celebrity, and
Yeah.
celebrity Karens can be quite kind of unique. But my Karen was very entitled, that's for sure. You know what I mean? And uniquely uncooperative and just want to just put my foot down and do what I tell you to do type Karen. But we'll talk about that in a sec. First of all, welcome Daniel Vance. Roses are red, violets are blue, depending on their relative velocity to you. You're damn right.
Mm-hmm.
And Major Ray, D Jose has the red Solar Cup. It's about to get real. Yes, it is. And what we're going to start with, first of all, is some wrestling topics. CM Punk will initially start this off. Let me just bring something up for you guys before we bring in Jose on this. This article here. Now, I don't really follow AEW as much as I should do, but there is an article here saying, I'm coming back. AEW stars CM Punk on his new show, Injuries and the Elephants in the Room. Now, apparently, without my knowledge, CM Punk has been on a layoff, on the injury table, so to speak, for almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how the article goes. CM Punk stepped down from a dais inside the bowels of a now arena in Hoffman Estate, Illinois, last September the 4th, with blood still on his face, a towel around his neck, and bags of muffins and sparkling water in either hand. The All Elite Wrestling World Champion belt he had just regained in All Out pay-per-view main event against John Moxley was tucked under his right arm and strapped slung over his shoulder. Punk, one of the most popular and polarizing professional wrestlers of the past 2 decades, walked out of the news conference room in native Chicagoland. As far as AEW television is concerned, has hardly been seen since until now. After a 9-month away, a devastating injury, backstage drama that reportedly turned physical, and a deluge of rumors about his future, CM Punk will return to AEW on Saturday night for his new weekly show, Collision, TNT 8 p.m. Eastern, at United Center in Chicago. Punk, whose real name is Phil Brooks, is no longer the AEW champion. Without saying why, AEW owner Tony Khan announced on September 7th of episode of AEW Dynamite that a title had been vacated. Punk's name was not mentioned on AEW programming at all until very recently. No public statement was made about his whereabouts or his tricep injury for months. For those consuming only AEW products and not any wrestling media, the entire situation was shrouded in mystery. And I know pro wrestling is absolutely the most bizarre form of entertainment on earth, but to me, I treat it like a business, and I treat it like television show that it is. Punk told ESPN in his first interview since last September. So you all haven't seen me since I won the belt. I'm coming back. Tune in to find out exactly what I have to say. I'm picking up right where I left off. The absence was due to Punk tearing his tricep tendon completely off the bone in an all-out match against Moxley. Punk said the injury required surgery and a lengthy rehabilitation process. It was tough mentally, he said, because the injury was sustained in just his second match back after recovering from breaking his foot in June 2022. Punk said he's back to 100% now, and photos and videos on his Instagram have shown an impressive physique. I think in wrestling, we always kind of joke how we always get hurt doing the dumb stuff, Punk said. Fall off a 15-foot ladder through a table and you're fine. And then you're running 6 miles the next day and you're in the gym. And then it's just always a dumb little thing, like some routine thing that I've done 1,000 times in my career, and it injures you. And then just the mental aspects of this recovery has not been easy. Luckily, I've got a really good support system. My wife, April Mendez, a 3-time WWE Diva champion under the moniker AJ Lee, and dog Larry. And I've got great friends and super great rehab team that was able to get me back this quickly, even though it feels like it was 12 years ago. Aside from the recovery and rehab, the main reason the past 9 months have felt so long is the main questions surrounding Punk's future in AEW, and reports from media outlets such as Wrestling Observer Newsletter, Fightful, and PEW Insider of backstage turmoil between Punk and AEW stars, and Executive Vice President Kenny Omega and brothers Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks tag team. Omega, the Jacksons, and Hangman Adam Page were among a group of wrestlers that included Cody Rhodes, now of WWE, that helped launch AEW with Khan as the CEO in 2019. The group had been previously dubbed the Elite, which led to the branding of All Elite Wrestling. Punk signed with in AEW in 2021 after a 70 absence from the industry. In Punk's mind, the division started sometime in spring 2022. Previously, he said he felt as if he had a solid relationship with the group, including approaching Omega to ensure nothing Punk was doing in his matches would infringe on what spots Omega had planned, checking in on Page while he was sick with COVID-19. On May 25th, 2022, Punk and Page were booked for a promo segment in the ring on Dynamite. Page was the AEW champion, and Punk would be his challenger at the next pay-per-view event. Double or Nothing. 4 days later, Punk said he and Page discussed backstage before the segment what they would say, much as Punk said he did for similar segments in the past with wrestlers such as MJF and Eddie Kingston. But when they got into the ring, according to Punk, Page strayed from what they had agreed on. You talk a big game about workers' rights, Page said on television. Well, you've shown the exact opposite since you got here. I love this place. I care about this place. This is my home. And this Sunday, Double or Nothing, I will be defending this championship against you. No, for the first time in my life, I'll be defending All Elite Wrestling from you. It was a bit confusing to most fans, especially the first part, since Punk's character was a babyface, a good guy, as was Page's. But to the naked ear, it just sounded like a pro wrestling trash talk part of the story. Punk said it was not that, and confronted Page about it when they returned backstage. According to Punk, Page told him he said what he did because Punk had AEW wrestler and coach Colt Cabana fired from the company, or at least tried to. Punk and Cabana had a very public falling out years ago before Punk arrived in AEW that included multiple lawsuits. Punk said that he told Page that was not true and that Cabana still worked for the company. Wow, there's a lot more here. It just goes on. I think. Wow, it just goes on. I don't want to read all of this. No offense.
Yeah.
I think I've read plenty.
Yeah. Basically, the long story short is Punk pretty much apologized for what he said and all that shit, and it's just like, okay, this shit is nearly a year old, and I'm still surprised that we're still talking about it. And what's crazy is this show Collision is designed for Punk because CM Punk and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and them cannot get the fuck along, which is so fucking stupid. Saturday nights are not typically a good night for wrestling for the most part, unless it's like a WWE pay-per-view. I don't know how a weekly 2-hour show is going to go well over with the audience. I think it'll start off hot, but I think it's ultimately going to end up peaking within like the next couple months, because that's how AEW Rampage was. Dynamite has had its moments where it's been good and bad, but I don't really see Collision being a success long term if it's just going to be the CM Punk show.
Yeah, when it comes to all of these falling outs, the one common denominator seems to be CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Like he falls out with everybody, and then when you realize that you come across somebody who falls out with everybody, maybe that person is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I've come across people like that in my own life who seems to have issues with everybody who knows him. Then next thing you know, you have an issue with that person yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize that this is the person. This person is probably the problem, and I have a feeling that maybe CM Punk is that person. What do you think, boss man?
I'm a huge fan of Punk's as a wrestler because I think that he's one of the few wrestlers who takes this stuff seriously. Like all his matches make sense, but as a human being, he seems to have like a bit of a prickly personality. Like he's rubbed so many people the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
It could be just that maybe he's just like run place front side sort of thing. But when you and other people are having problems, and you just don't go on, right, let's see what we can do for the good of the company. The thing is if you do it for the good of you, that's one thing. But if you do it for the good of the company, that's another thing. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's happened for him to go off on Adam Page, to go off on the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. Maybe there's real hate there. I don't know. I just think he's kind of making everything about him. And I don't like that. He's obviously a talented guy. It's just like there's got to come a time where I mean the guy's like he's older than I am. He's like 40 odd, 40, 44, 45.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to come a time where you grow up. You think, right, it's not all about me. It's about me giving back to the business. Because the guy, I mean, a lot of the younger guy are looking up to this guy. I mean, like MGF grew up loving this guy. I'm sure, like a lot of like Sammy Guevara, all those, all the younger stars that AEW have probably grew up loving this guy. So why does he not take that sort of like the tutor role and say, look, this is the mistakes I made. These are the mistakes you may not want to make.
Right.
He's a bit like Hulk Hogan without the clout.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Honestly, come to think of it now, like sometimes you don't want to meet your heroes, and to a degree, Punk is like that. I mean, Punk had a lot of things in the past that has made him, which is elevated in the fact that he's a clean living guy. And that actually has made him a very appealing character, and on top of that, he's charismatic and he's a good wrestler. You mix all of that in, but then when it comes just to the overall personality, he just seems to be quite narcissistic.
Yes,
but he hasn't necessarily got the stripes to. He's always been on the cusp of being like superior, top tier, almost Mount Rushmore levels. But he's not that guy, and he tried. And I think also on top of the stuff, like his failures outside of wrestling, most notably him being an MMA fighter. I mean, he got his, if those things were a bit more credible, I'm sure that would have helped him. It would have helped his stock rise a little bit, but he's had the shit beaten out of him. In MMA.
And you also have to take in consideration too, I don't think this is entirely Punk's fault. I think the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are being big fucking babies themselves. I'm like, all y'all need to grow the fuck up. That's kind of how I feel about it. I'm like, we don't need
a bit like Hulk Hogan in TNA, though, isn't it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want history repeating itself to a degree. Like, here comes the big guy now, like a real big wrestler. Because you've had notable names in the past. Probably the biggest guy too, but is like maybe Chris Jericho, but he started with that company, so he's almost a part of the foundations.
Yeah.
But then you got somebody like like CM Punk come in and say, "Oh God, this guy's gonna try and like take my spot, take my power, all of this sort of stuff," and they're not having it.
No.
Especially considering he's been out for 7 years.
Mm-hmm. With Punk, here's the thing. I'm just like, dude, you're injury prone. That cannot be denied. He's injury prone. He's hurt like every couple months, every 3 months.
He's old.
It's like, I would think your best bet is to go ahead and just have this Collision show for maybe a couple months. And I think it's going to end up becoming like WCW Thunder. I really do. And for anybody that grew up on WCW, you did not want to be on Thunder because it was the kiss of death. And that's how I feel
Yeah.
Collision's going to be.
The Sunday night heat of
Yep.
Well, I mean,
wrestling.
It
The
could be
metal.
interesting because it could be the way of what we're doing what more of SmackDown used to do, which is like cultivate rivalries.
Yeah, within
Because
themselves,
it's
make it its
reaction.
own, make it its own identity. I think that's pretty much the best thing you could do. You can make Dynamite its own brand and make Collision its own brand and have everything separate itself, and then be like, okay, what can Collision do different from Dynamite? Can Collision be more of the wrestling show while Dynamite's more of the storytelling show? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Yeah, but people subconsciously always going to know that these are like the C shows, the D shows,
Right.
and no matter how much you try to polish it up, if you're on those shows, it means that you've kind of fallen down the pecking order. I mean, it's not like a NXT, which is a show that is supposed to enhance new talent.
Yep.
This is those shows are like, okay, you're not the best we got. I mean, the only way those shows can ever improve is they put top tier talent on those shows now and again to give it some elevation.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I
I'm
mean?
sorry, but Punk's not going to be that guy. I don't see it. Given that, like Boss Man
He's-
just
the
said,
guy's
he's
a good
44. Yeah, he's a good wrestler, but the fact that he's 44, he's old, he gets hurt all the time. I don't personally think you should build a brand around CM Punk, but that's just me.
Fair enough. No,
I think
sorry.
he should, but I think that he just needs to stop doing the stupid wrestling shit he does.
Yeah,
He just needs to still just have reasonable matches. Because I think he's younger than when Scott Hall was in Flaming WCW.
mm-hmm.
The problem is the same thing here, is that he's making dumb mistakes. The same thing that Scott Hall did, which was without the drug taking, of course, but like that he's not taking care of his body. Like, you know, I can guarantee you, when I start wrestling, I ain't going to do half the shit he's doing. I
Right.
can tell you that now. Because I'm not going to make dumb mistakes with my body. I know that my shelf life is a lot shorter than these younger guys.
Yeah, you've only got so many bumps you can take.
Exactly.
Well,
Just a couple of comments here regarding Iron Sheik just died. Yeah, we all know about
Yep.
that.
mm-hmm.
Rest in power, mate. You know, he was one of the greatest heels of all time. And after like the kayfabe era, he probably, when he was not even wrestling anymore, he just became a parody of the character that he was. But that was good because in a way he had to, because he needed to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah. What does Zam think about 44 being old? Well, I'm 46, so 44 is definitely old. I can tell you that. And on top of that, if you're doing something as physical as wrestling,
Yeah, you're not going to have a
Um,
shelf life for very long.
you know, like I mean, I look at someone like Chris Jericho now, who, in my opinion, shouldn't have grown his hair out, but now he looks like one of my aunties. You know what I mean? And you just, like there has to be a level of dedication to the sport so much that you've pretty much given up everything else in your life because you've got to stay in a physical shape that makes you still look very appealing. Look at The Rock, for instance. He looks absolutely fucking amazing, and he's in his early 50s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the sort of physique you kind of need to have to a degree. Like, you're just lean, not an ounce of fat on you, just to keep yourself looking young remotely. But I don't know. Like, regarding someone like Punk, I still think he's got a few more years left in the business, but I just don't think he's top tier. I personally think he needs to turn heel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
mean,
only way
yeah.
you can start Collision off hot, is he's got to come out with a mic and be like, oh, yeah, all you people are cheering me. Fuck all of you. Like, where were you like 9 months ago? That's what I'd like to see happen.
Yeah. Even people cheering me, the fact that everyone's against him and everyone, he seems like he has his back against the wall constantly.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he needs to go, man. Make AJ his valet and all of that, power couple it and all of that shit.
And I've
You
got
know
my
what I
own
mean?
gripe, too. Can we get the fuck out of Chicago, please? Because I swear to God, like, AEW is a fucking Chicago territory. Like, that's where they go. It's like, Oh, Chicago, Chicago, Chicago. Come to the West Coast, motherfuckers. Let's see how many tickets you sell.
Well,
Yeah,
the thing is that
yeah.
they seem to play, they seem to do the same areas all the time. It seems to be like around the Jacksonville area. Well, I don't know, that's
Mm-hmm. Yeah, either
Canada.
like Florida or Chicago. Yeah, or Canada.
Canada, they do Canada for about 5 month, and then they're doing. So else, it's ridiculous. I mean, the thing is that they do some smart things to come over here, but I think the thing is that they could probably do really well over here, not just over here, but in Europe in general. If they went to, I don't know, Germany. I'm trying to think of wrestling hotbeds. Like Germany's a really big one.
I think Italy's big. I mean, I think
Italy,
most countries.
Greece.
I think most countries are. They can target the Middle East. They can target the Oceania area as well.
Yeah.
Japan. I mean, like I've always said, yeah, that the wrestling is more than just about America and Canada. It really needs to spread its wings because you will have fucking filled stadiums on a regular basis. I do think North American audiences are spoiled to a degree, which is why you have a lot of dead crowds at times.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
we
mean-
got. I knew in '99 that wrestling was going to get too damn big, and I was like, man, I wish they would like downsize it even then because it got too damn big even then. In the late
Yeah, but
'90s.
they won't say no to ticket sales, and then
Nope.
more people in the arena, which means more merchandise being sold.
Yep.
You
And
know,
then what
so,
happened?
Yeah,
What happened was with WCW and ECW, they died out, and that was the beginning of the end. In 2001,
Yeah.
I don't think the business ever recovered from that. I mean, I know
Well-
AEW is trying to be the alternative, and good for them, but they've got a lot of changes to make if they want to grow their audience too. Because I'm seeing a lot of people saying like, "Oh, okay, AEW only gets like 850,000 to 1 million viewers." I'm like, that's their fucking ceiling. It caters to a hardcore audience. That's who they're going after.
yeah. I mean, when they were initially getting their head above water, they were people were interested too regarding them. But yes, once they hit their ceiling, and I think I don't know, maybe too many too many rejects from the WWE as well. It doesn't necessarily help, like
And putting them
Yes.
over too to add to that.
yeah,
But
like
no,
you find your own guys like your MGFs and stuff like that, and then you make them like household names within your own company, and then people very much appreciate them. I think that's why they did a good job with Kenny Omega as well, but not enough. And you got someone like Cody Rhodes who pretty much like one of the top guys there, and he just things didn't go his way, and he went running back to WWE with his tail between his legs.
The
Like a
idiot
little
decided to give himself that stipulation of I can't challenge for the world title. Good fucking going, moron. You do that, that's the kiss of death. You don't give yourself that kind of stipulation. Like you could give yourself the stipulation of like, oh, okay, like if I'm facing MJF, I can't face MJF if I can't get the title as long as MJF is champion. That makes more sense. Not, oh, if I lose this match, I can never contend for the world title again. That stipulation is so stupid.
Evening blonde Greek, brunette Greek.
What up, Ginger?
Oh, yeah, proper ginger he is. Yeah, having stipulations for I think
World titles.
putting yourself in certain positions where then you think to yourself, well, eventually you're gonna have to go back on this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stick to the stipulation forever. It's a bit like if you lose this match, you're out of the company, and then boom, I got rehired. Yes, they fired me, and now they rehired me.
I got an ironclad contract now. Ha ha.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is that those things that you're just talking about used to be good when there used to be like multiple territories.
Mm-hmm. When there were territories and you knew you could go somewhere, like a loser leave town match used to mean something. Nowadays, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have like a you're fired match or whatever the fuck it's called, and then they always come back because it's like, oh, ha ha, I got rehired. I got in with Tony Khan or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, during COVID, I'm gonna throw Rey Mysterio off the top of a building,
and then he'll be back the very next night like nothing happened. Because they did that too.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, okay, here's Rey Mysterio, not limping, not selling, not even like being on death's door. None of that.
Well, he's a superhero, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Vance. Sorry, not that. Did I say Daniel Vance? wrestling was more enjoyable in kayfabe. Yeah, unfortunately, those days will never come back.
Nope.
So this is the one I was looking for. Doing a banning job. The show is all for. The show is for all to host and handle. I just got the ball rolling.
Yep.
And he lost an eye. Who lost an eye?
Who lost an eye? Oh yeah, Rey Mysterio. Yeah, when he got fucking stabbed in the eye with the stairs. I remember that shit when like Seth Rollins did that to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stabbed his eye in the
all types of
stairs.
shit. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that reminded me. Oh my God.
This is what happens when you write yourself into a corner. You have to just go, right, we're not going to actually go through that. It's like, look, don't do stuff in wrestling you can't do for real.
Yeah.
And look,
like chop off Balvina's penis.
I mean, for example, like let's say, for example, if somebody was going to go to a different company and you knew they were going, there's nothing wrong with a lose-lose title match there, because then the guy is doing two things: A, they're doing the favors on the way out,
Yep.
which is definitely 1-on-1, and two, if the guy turns up at the other company, then you know that why he's there. I mean, the thing is that.
It is a bit different now. Like, you know, like with The Rock, like you would always know that if he's up in this particular match, you think to yourself, okay, he's going to lose this match, then he's going to go back to Hollywood. And I think, unfortunately, with social media, so much stuff gets exposed regarding what wrestlers do. You know, like fucking when Johnson has become the new Rock in the WWE, he comes back for a few weeks.
Yeah, and then he'll leave.
He puts somebody over now, and then he'll fuck off. You know what I mean?
I gotta admit, I was legit shocked that he did not kick out of Austin Theory's finisher. I was like, what? Cena got beat by a finisher? I'm like, that is such a rarity that actually happened. I was like, wow, that is crazy.
I think he's at a stage of his career now where I think wrestling is definitely like. It's not as important to him as it used to be. He's a Hollywood star now. The guy's made a movie with fucking Jackie Chan. You know? I saw the trailer for it the other day. I was going to do a reaction to it, but I couldn't be fucked. But yeah, he's made a movie with Jackie Chan. You know, he's in the Fast and Furious franchise. He is the Peacemaker as well.
Yeah,
there's no going back for him, man. He's a staple of Hollywood now for sure.
Yeah,
he doesn't need wrestling anymore.
The guy is established superstar in WWE. He's part of that. You know, you can mention those names. You can mention on one hand. I think you could throw John Cena in there now as well.
Yeah,
you know, now that he's a Hollywood actor. I mean, you probably need two hands now. You could even. You know, if Batista keeps making decent movies too, you could throw him in there as well, simply because he's in Hollywood. So
I will give Batista this. Batista is actually challenging himself out of Hollywood to take on different roles. That's something I haven't really seen from The Rock ever since he started acting.
He's always going to play a big fucking musclehead in some capacity.
That's going to be Batista. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at least Batista is like daring himself to take on like comedy and serious roles, whereas The Rock, it's like, oh, okay, you're seeing the extension of The Rock pretty much in every movie he's ever in, except for like the Tooth Fairy and that stupid shit that he did with Disney.
I think The Rock actually did try to mix it up a lot earlier in his career, but I think ever since he met Hobbs and Shaw, he's like full on The Rock in everything he fucking does. You know, I mean, not Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and Furious 5.
Yeah.
Where he played Hobbs and all of that. So he's transcended wrestling, for sure. Now, will these wrestlers actually lose their muscle mass and body and their weight and whatever to play a role? Because that's another level of acting, you know. But you do see wrestlers become bulky, like Tom Holland. What's his name? Christian Bale. They do put on the muscle.
Yep.
But at the same time, they do take it off depending on what role they're playing. Or somebody like Batista, and I mean, I think it almost be impossible for them to do it because they've been muscular for all their life.
Yep.
You know, it'd be almost impossible for them to.
Did y'all see that recent picture of Batista? Batista now has that old man look going on. I'm like, damn, time goes by fast. He's got like white hair and everything. I'm like
56.
Yeah, he's like 56 now. Or let me see. I think he is in his 50s.
He's definitely in his mid 50s.
Yeah, because he's got that old man look.
Well, he had that Botox face when he was fucking Drax in Guardians 3 and the Christmas special.
Yep.
So,
Oh, okay, 54. Yep, sounds about right.
really, fair enough. But it's still, he's at a stage in his life now where he will end up playing a lot more older looks. Tom Holland looks like a crack addict. Well, he was a crack addict. So, The Crowded Room, fair enough. Born in '69. Oh, Tom Holland. Sorry, I was thinking of Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I apologize, Daniel Vance. Yeah, I am waiting for Tom Holland to come up with something outside the Spider-Man that is must see.
Yeah.
Like he's tried other franchises like with Uncharted, and he might do. He probably will do a sequel to that.
Oh, there's
But-
going to be a couple more Uncharted movies. There's money to be
But
made.
Just some of the stuff he's done outside the Spider-Man has been god fucking awful. Like
Yeah.
really fucking bad.
I know he doesn't want to.
Um,
I know he admitted recently. He's like, I'm not going to be 30 playing Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah, good. Get out while you're young. Don't be typecast
Well,
as Spider-Man.
I don't see the problem in him being Spider-Man at 30. Like it's good to have it's good to be part of something that you can always go back to as an actor.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield have gone back to Spider-Man. Like you got the Star Trek guys going back to that. You got the Star Wars guys going back to that, like Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher and all of these. So like, it's always good to have something you can rely on to get you work in the future. He's a serial killer in this series. Fair enough. I mean, if that's what he feels like he needs to do, I mean, the thing is, you could play a serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
It still has to be good. Like, it's Tom Holland's playing a serial killer. This is gonna be fun to watch. But I just really do feel that some of the scripts he picks, some of the stuff he gets involved in, is just fucking shit. And it's really sad.
He needs to fire his agent. That's what he wants to do today.
Yeah, but Impossible is Tom's best work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very difficult though for actors to know if a film's going to be any good prior to it being even made. Like for instance, Michael Madsen, you know who he is? He
Yeah, I've
played
heard the
Mr.
name.
Blonde.
Yep.
He played Mr. Blonde in Reservoir Dogs. He's been in a few films. He was supposed to play the John Travolta character in Pulp Fiction. And he read the script. Who's this Quentin Tarantino? He's done one film before. Samuel L. Jackson, never heard of him, like all this sort of stuff, and then he's playing, like you just don't know that these films sometimes are going to transcend so well onto the big screen, like you just can't envision it when when you're reading a goddamn script,
Yeah.
but sometimes what you read seems really good. You can be part of a franchise like Uncharted. You can't go wrong. Uncharted, everyone loves that. And it still ends up being shit. Proper shit. He was so miscasted for that as well. So
Had they made
Anyway,
Uncharted
yeah.
when it was at its peak in the late 2000s, early 2010s, if it would have came out 10 years ago, I think Uncharted would have been one of the greatest series of all times for movies.
well, the fact that Mark Wahlberg was cast to play Nathan Drake back in the day, I thought that was decent casting. I thought he could have done a good job. I mean, he wasn't necessarily the perfect casting, but he shouldn't have been playing fucking Sully. And then is it Nathan Fillion? Is that his name? He did that fan film. Absolutely
Yes.
superb. I always thought Bradley Cooper would make a really good Nathan Drake personally if he was younger. That's just my personal opinion, but definitely not fucking Tom Holland. And yeah, it's bullshit now. Like it's done. And if you want to watch a good Nathan Drake film, watch some of the Uncharted cutscenes.
Mhm.
In the earlier movie, Uncharted 2, 3, and 4.
All you got to do is go back and play the games. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be one of those things where I think the movies will be good, but they won't hold up like the games.
Nathan Fillion was born for the role. They missed a chance. Yeah, they always
Yep.
do. They always do. There's always people who could have been really good. Like if Jack Nicholson was like 40 years, 50 years younger, he would have been a superb Wolverine. But he's too fucking old now. I mean, way too fucking old. All these fucking actors who could have done it back in the day. So I always thought that he was based on Jack Nicholson to a degree.
Yep.
Wolverine. So, anyways, all right. Any more in wrestling?
No, CM Punk, Elite, Young Bucks, Hangman Page, grow the fuck up. All of you, grow the fuck up.
Yes.
Just jumping onto WWE now, I really like what they're doing with the Usos, like treating them so individually and stuff like that.
Yep.
I don't know if this split between Jay and Jimmy is going to be happening majorly. I mean, I like the way that that Heyman is saying that we're gonna try and make you the next tribal chief, but at the same time, Jay said to Paul, if I'm becoming the next tribal chief, then you're going to be fired.
Mm-hmm. They're not, because you already know what they're going to do. They're going to break Hulk Hogan's record, given how Hulk Hogan is a fucking idiot and how he said the stupid shit that he said. So I'm like, okay, so we got to put up with Roman as champion for about another year and some change, which I'm good with at this point, because I could see Roman going through Cody next year at WrestleMania 40, pissing people off, and then they're going to do that thing where it's like, oh, can Roman break Hogan's record? Then if you want to take the title off of him, then like as he gets closer, or
Roman
on the actual
Cody
date
again,
he breaks it. Yeah, because they're going to do Roman and Cody again. Yeah,
no,
they're going to run it back.
WrestleMania 40.
Yep.
It needs to be something. It needs to be something a bit more unique than that, man.
I know.
I mean, personally, I think going back to that well again would be very distasteful for the 40th WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm sick of like, why do we have to have WrestleMania rematches? Like, okay, I'll give you Austin Rock. Austin Rock was a trilogy. You got it 3 times at 3 different WrestleManias. That worked. But I don't want
over 2 years of time.
Yeah, I don't want Roman and Cody touching again, not even next year. I'm like, let's save that for 2025. Let's have Roman just dominate for the next year. And then if you want to take it off of him by like 41, do what you do.
Well, let's just see what happens organically this year, because right now what they're doing with the Usos is fascinating.
It's fucking brilliant. Yeah. The Bloodline storyline has easily been the best thing these last couple of years.
It's so good that Roman Reigns wasn't even on SmackDown the other day, and they were still able to have an enthralling show without him.
Yeah,
putting the Usos in the spotlight as well, and Solo Sikoa as well. So,
and what I'm also liking in a small detail, it's kind of related to the Bloodline, but not really. Meta Kevin Owens has been going off fucking lately because he's doing this like fourth wall breaking shit where he's like, okay, you guys can't just come out like whenever you want. You have to call somebody out. Then the music plays. Then you come out. Like he's doing all this kind of like meta fourth wall breaking shit. And he's like, oh, I gotta go change into my gear to wrestle. I can't wear the shit that I have on now. I have to go change because I can't wrestle in like street clothes. That's Kevin Owens' gimmick now, is he's just like breaking the fourth wall and just saying all this funny shit. And I'm really liking what he and Sami Zayn have been doing with the Imperium. Yeah. Gunther is a dude that needs to be the world champion in the next couple of years.
That could be somebody. I think maybe if they bring him up right, they could make him a challenger. But Ginger Greek said,
the guy. Sorry,
go on. Finish off what you're saying.
I was going to say that the guy's really hard hitting. It's too hard hitting. The thing is that if you're working on top and you're working with him, he's going to be impossible to work with because the guy hits you too hard.
Look, in my opinion, if he was that bad of a worker, he would not be fucking IC champion.
Run Ginger's comment back. I didn't get to read that shit.
I want to read Ginger's comment because
okay. But Austin Rock were fucking great. Yeah. And there was a group of them too. Mankind,
Kane, and Triple H. You were happy to see it fight over and over again. Also, by the way, Austin and Rock, by the third time, it wasn't a title match. It was just a simple grudge match.
Yep.
So that also made it interesting too. They didn't have to end WrestleMania like the previous ones did. Gunther is the next big heel in that company.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, Gunther.
He's Vladimir Kozlov done right.
Yeah, Gunther's gonna be breaking Honky Tonk Man's record this September, and I can't fucking wait.
It's actually kind of refreshing to see long title reigns.
Yep.
Like proper long title, not like, okay, we'll let you have it for a little while, then I'll take it back off you again. You know what I mean? Like that was the same with like Triple H's title reigns. Like he had the title for a while, and even John Cena to a degree, but they'll just get it back again, and add prestige to the belts, and I think it's a good, and at the same time, like it means that you could actually elevate people in the mid card a lot better because if you got one guy at the top, then people are going to focus on everybody else because it's not all about them having to climb the ladder to win the championship. It's just about getting good matches out of them and showing what they have to offer.
Make the Intercontinental title the workhorse title again, damn it. And that's what Gunther's doing. I'm like, all right, he's coming out and he's whooping everybody's ass. And that's how he needs to be. He just comes out and beats everybody's ass. If he can win the Royal Rumble next year, I'll be happy. That's who I want winning the Royal Rumble.
You looking forward to seeing Seth Rollins in Captain America 4?
Yes.
He's playing with Cobra Commander or some shit like that. What's he playing again?
And if we don't get an NWO reference, I'm going to be pissed. Just for the wrestling fans. I just want an NWO reference, and I'm happy. That's all I want as a wrestling fan. Is just to have a reference to the original NWO.
Many hands clamoring to get to the top of the mountain, beating the champ. He's just playing a guy called Cobra. Fair enough. I think his role will be. I don't think his role will be that big. I think it'll be quite minimal, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, you'll see him, and it'll be like, oh, okay, there's Seth Rollins, and then
I just don't want him to be quiet because sometimes you see wrestlers in films and they don't let him talk. Like you saw Roman Reigns in Hobbs and Shaw, and he was just standing there, like, hey, you're on the mic all the time in the WWE. I want to hear you talk. Seth Rollins is obviously a very talented, complete wrestling package. I want to hear him fucking talk in Brave New World. I really wanted to hear him talk. So
okay, speaking of Seth Rollins and fucking continuity and fuck ups with Vince McMahon, remember how they said that the Raw World fucking title would be only exclusive to Monday Night Raw? They're having Seth Rollins defend the world fucking title on NXT this next week against Braun Breaker. So much for shit making sense.
So just with the new guy here, Halcyon 73, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was brilliant in cinemas. Well,
I enjoyed it.
Ginger Greek, who absolutely loves James Gunn and loves everything.
James Gunn does.
Actually, in a minute, I'm going to praise James Gunn. So
he has a poster. He has a poster of James Gunn in his bedroom. He doesn't tell people that, but he does.
I'm not sure regarding political. Maybe spy thriller. I'm not so sure.
Thriller.
I think because the fact that it's basically going to have every Hulk character in this fucking film, barring the Hulk himself. I'm not sure how spy-like you can make it, but definitely political if Thunderbolt Ross is the president of the United States. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay, so with WWE, we've got the Usos killing it, and we've got Seth Rollins breaking rules by going anywhere and everywhere to defend the fucking championship. At least they got the women's title situation figured the fuck out finally.
Well, the reason why apparently he fought AJ Styles in the first match in Saudi Arabia was that he had to fly straight back to America again
to do Captain America.
Filming. He had to do Captain America. So yeah. Either way, I'm in if he's in if it is.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think so. Yeah. Likewise too. Yeah. I mean, so. Yeah, like I said, and I said last week, Ginger.
I mean, the thing is, do you think that? Do you think that the fact that they might have a mute is because of the fact that when they've tried someone else who's a wrestler, namely Sasha Banks, it hasn't quite worked with her vocal delivery, should we say?
I don't know. I think you got to find like the right character. You got to find the right dialogue, the right way to pitch the dialogue.
Physicality plays a part too.
It's a combination. You have to have like presence. You have to have the voice. You have to have the look. You have to have the stance. It's all kind of shit that goes into it.
I mean, I actually thought, what's her face? God, what's that wife's name again? Becky Lynch.
Yeah,
she was superb in Young Rock, playing what's her face?
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper. Yeah, superb in her American New York accent. You know what I mean? Fucking fantastic. Elysion, yes, I am a fellow Englishman. I am a Londoner. Beneath me, I have Mancunian Jack himself, Gaz, who is Mancunian, living in Scotland. So yeah, exactly. And then from Colorado, the great,
The
within
weed
great
capital
state
of the world,
Denver.
motherfucker. Yep, the weed
Yeah,
capital of the world.
Yeah. Shame I quit that life, but yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Want some weed? Come to Colorado. We'll hook you up.
that rumor was squashed.
Yeah. So and also helps you. I'm trained to be a pro wrestler, so
Yes.
So
Yeah.
to the roundabouts.
Yeah, look, I think some wrestlers. I think personally, Seth Rollins. I think he's got every ability to be a decent wrestler, a decent actor. A lot of these guys, you can just tell. I always knew that John Cena was going to make it as an actor. The guy is just an entertainer personified. Like he's all of that. When you saw him, freestyling from the very beginning, you realize this guy was born to be in entertainment.
Yeah, he's going to make it.
Wrestling. Yeah, and same with The Rock. Stone Cold, funnily enough, he actually said that he doesn't like acting. Like once he hurt his back and stuff like that, he knew that he still was a name, and he went into the industry. Welcome, Ginger.
Oh, he finally stopped masturbating to join us. Thank God.
Yeah. I blew my load over James Gunn and all his films now. So
Yeah.
Sorry, as I was saying,
Sorry,
so he like, even though he was a recognized name and stuff like that, acting wasn't his thing. He's done a few films. He's been in Expendables as well, but it was just something he didn't like. But he likes all this podcasting and presentation and stuff like that. And that's more.
Who are you talking about?
Steve Austin.
Steve Austin.
Yeah.
He's better suited for.
He's a decent actor.
He's better suited for TV, in my opinion, than he is in the movies. Yeah, I like him more on television.
He's good as like a talking head personality doing that interviewing stuff. So
I was just more surprised that he didn't like it though. He actually genuinely didn't like doing that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, he wasn't. He said it was. Yeah, that's what he said. He wasn't really.
enough.
I mean, he could do it, but it wasn't for him. You know what I mean? It was a meal ticket, but I think he found his niche now. Yeah.
Okay, so you've heard from all of us with this AEW shit. What do you think about it with this whole Punk, Omega, Young Bucks, fifth grade childish bullshit?
I think Tony Coke needs to grow some balls.
Yes.
And fire everyone. Everyone. Let the contracts run down for the Bucks and the Omega. Okay. Actually, I'd keep Kenny Omega just for the fun of it, and get rid of the Elite. Just to deliberately splinter that group. If Omega decides to stick with the Elite and go to WWE, that's fine. They're not going to go anywhere in the WWE. They have a horrible attitude and they'll be buried in minutes. Okay, so get rid of them. And Punk is, as much as I like Punk, he's too toxic.
Yeah.
And it creates a lot of drama. People have to come to the realization that he's a big fucking baby. He's a big baby and he needs to just shut up, grow up, go away. So get rid of all of them. Hangman Page as well, he can go. I don't get the hype around him at all. He's like a wet cloth. Okay, push Hook, who the WWE are high on. All right, push your Danhausen. Daniel Bryan should be the center of attention. Okay, he deserves it. There are so many other talents there. So your Sammy Guevara's, your who was the guy that was in that SCU tag team, the Black guy?
Oh, fucking yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't place
what
his
a great
name,
talent he is as well. They've got
Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio Sky,
Gary. Yep. Scorpio Sky. I love him. I think he's fantastic. Get maybe Hammerstone from MLW, whatever, and just there's plenty of talent out there. You don't need that quintet of idiots, because there's Hangman the Elite and CM Punk. So
yeah, they're all in the wrong and they all need to grow the fuck up. That's what I've been saying. And people are like, what? Why? And I'm like, they're all childish. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anything more to say, by the way? You got a fan in head.
But I'll give you biscuits, you stupid cat. What? My cat was just vomiting. Say it again, mate.
Most lad says hello to you, and he hasn't spoken to me in about 20 years. It's been about 3 or 4 years for me. But hell, I miss it. Yeah, likewise. But you know what?
Haley
I'm glad that life is behind me. I almost wish I quit it years earlier, to tell you the truth. But now I'm at a stage in my life where I'm so proud that I don't do it anymore. So
Well, your
Right, so-
personality is completely changed. If I'm being brutally honest,
Thank
you're
you.
way more chilled. Ironically,
Yeah, he's way more chilled and he's mellowed out.
yeah,
And here's the scary thing: he's actually polite. Like, what the fuck happened to our
Yeah.
Zamario?
it's just a completely
I
different
am.
person.
I'm more polite.
But I
Mhm.
saw it. I saw it in my cousin as well. Like he just erratic behavior, short tempered, all this kind of stuff because he's a heavy weed smoker. Now that it's cut back, completely different person.
Yep.
But you have the withdrawals and your buzz gets ruined. And
Yeah. Hang on, I just
you
want
know,
to hear something. I'm still here. Just
no problem. So Elysion says, wrestling is brilliant fantasy. I used to watch wrestling when you had the Ultimate Warrior, Big Boss Man. Or you're talking my fucking
You're
youth
talking.
now.
Yeah, you're talking like.
no.
Hey, you're talking 80s, late 80s, early 90s, Hacksaw Jim
Yeah.
Duggan, best era. Although I used to watch Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks, likewise,
Yeah.
English wrestling, which I think predates the American stuff. Although there was actually, I mean, Vince McMahon's WWE brought his wrestling to the mainstay, but there was a lot of wrestling in the 70s and so on that just didn't
The thing
cross
is-
the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what like the thing that people always say about Vince McMahon is, he brought wrestling into the no, he brought Hollywood to wrestling. Wrestling was huge. If he hadn't have muscled in on the territories, there just would have been more channels clamoring to put wrestling on their channels. Crockett probably would have survived. NWA may have survived as well. Maybe.
Florida.
Yeah. All this, so the Florida territories,
Smoky
all the
Mountain.
territories could have survived. Mid-South, all that, because they would have had. But because Vince wanted to destroy the competition and he did it successfully, only one other competitor survived, and that was WCW.
Yep.
Unfortunately, and
And he bought them out as well.
then
Yeah,
he
I
bought
mean-
them out because the new owners of Warner Brothers, after Ted Turner sold the company, didn't give a shit about wrestling.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, here's the deal. You can buy the rings, you can buy the copyright, you can buy the trademark, the logos, all that bullshit, but you ain't getting the TV time. And without the TV time at the time, WCW was worth maybe $20.
exactly.
Nowadays, with the video library being the way it is, man, holy fuck, the library alone would
It's
be
worth more than what the company was when it got bought.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
Vince McMahon, without that, is a control freak. So much so that after even Undertaker retired to a degree, he made sure that the only person Undertaker ever did interviews for was for the WWE. Because I think he once got upset with Undertaker because he was on some sort of indie promotion or whatever,
Yeah.
and he chatted there and stuff like that. And Vince, being the fucking egomaniac, fucking dictator, was absolutely visibly hurt. If Undertaker was somewhere else, and Undertaker
I
was
think
just-
he was. I don't even think it happened. I think he was booked to come to a British promotion
Yeah.
to do like signings and interviews and all of that, and Vince was just like, "Fucking no,
No, you're not going to do that because it's not
Absolutely
for the
not.
WWE, damn it.
I will give you this." He threw money at him, extended his contract, and said no. And then once Undertaker's retired, he's just done whatever. And I could see why Vince wants to keep the illusion of the Undertaker, because Mark is a complete fucking cringe twat.
Yeah, I would never
I'm
hang out
tired
with
of
you.
it.
I would never hang out with the Undertaker in real life.
No, my God, no. He's
Mm-mm.
so embarrassing. Like the
Yeah.
stuff he talks about is like, oh.
Like if I was
Well,
to sit
when
with
you-
him and have a beer over pro wrestling talk, I'd be like, yeah, I could listen
Oh,
to
that's
you all
different.
day.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
outside of wrestling, I'm like, I would not hang out with the Undertaker.
Nah, with that fucking
When
Blue
you
Lives
eat,
Matter
like, it's Hall of
stupid
Fame.
shite.
It's Hall of Fame felt like a fucking TED talk. Yeah, I mean, he had the fucking earphone microphone thing going. He's like talking with both of his hands and shit like that. I personally never appreciated Undertaker as a promo guy. I thought, especially when he was in Dead Man mode, I think it wasn't too bad when he was the badass, but when he was in Dead Man mode and he's cutting promos, I fucking hated it. It was so mundane, so fucking deadpan. It
I
was
don't know.
bullshit.
I disagree. I thought his best run was when he was.
See ya, Helicon.
Mystery
Thanks for stopping
Darkness-
by again.
Oh,
See you, mate.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was going to say the Mystery Darkness area was probably his best area. best music he had.
Oh, I
No, but
love.
he-
Yeah, no, I have
Yeah.
to agree with Gary. I fucking
Yeah.
love Ministry of Darkness era. I loved it.
I would say
I
the
hate
He
most.
started humanizing, though. That's the thing, though. He started
Mm.
humanizing, but the moment he became proper dead man again, and he's like, and you will rest in peace. It's like, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, when he went
I
to
will
like
take your soul and I'll bury you in the
Yeah.
ground. Like, shut the fuck up, man.
the
Just
run that needed
have
to
a
last.
match.
The run that needed to last was when he dressed up as Batman. That's the run that should have gone on longer. Damn it. Around late '96, early '97, when he was dressing like Bruce Wayne or dressing like the Batman, I'm like, okay, I could actually deal with this version of the Undertaker because he's kind of combining two things at one. But then when they fucked it all up was when they like buried him and then they brought him back and he was still wearing like the biker gloves and the hat and the trench coat. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, this hybrid shit looks so fucking stupid. Like, keep him human if you're gonna make him look human. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to see Taker wear like biker gloves and shit. Well, like saying "rest in
Well,
peace" and all
that's
that kind of shit.
that was him trying to bring out his fucking Hell's Angel personality and all that. Then
Mhm.
like the
I was a big fan of the badass personally.
oh
I
really
think-
I just
Yeah.
hated it. It was so cringe.
I just thought it was good to see an evolution of his character, and then him finally being able to express himself in a way which wasn't deadpan and just be a lot more eccentric.
His promos
And
were
then-
better because
His
he did have
promos
some
were
fun
good.
with it. I'll give
Yeah.
him that. Like
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah,
you could. That's where you saw that he could cut a promo.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. But then when the moment he has to like go back to being the dead man again,
yeah. I didn't like the
So-
2004 through like 2020 Undertaker at all.
After
like-
that, it just became impossible to. That's why I don't like the American Badass thing because after that, it just became impossible to
Yeah.
just take the guy seriously. Don't get me wrong. His WrestleMania matches were phenomenal
Mhm.
in that era. Like he gave us, I would say those were some of his best matches. Like my favorite Undertaker match,
His
believe
only
it or not,
matches.
was against Shawn Michaels one and Triple H as well.
Yep. 25 and 27 and 28 were his best
25
Mania
is
matches.
actually-
yeah.
a lot of people say 25 is the match of all time.
It is. It
You know
is.
what I mean, it's the greatest
It's just
match of all time.
amazing. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it was absolutely superb, that match.
26 would have been
Yeah.
better if it. 26 would have been better if they had more time. I think.
No, they what it was is they overly done it with the storytelling in that match.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And you know what I mean, and like I just like you need to give me the edge of the seat stuff that you gave me in 25.
And you
It's
knew
far more
Sean.
entertaining.
And you knew Sean was going to retire, quote unquote, because retirement matches is another gripe I have. I'm like, stop it with the fucking retirement matches. There's no such thing. No one ever really retires.
Say this is my last match for the foreseeable future. Just
Yeah.
say that instead of a retirement match because I might want to come back for one more.
Yeah,
just
or
to see
maybe
if
I don't know,
can and-
or I don't know, maybe 1,000. I can pull the that
Yeah.
doesn't work for me. I could pull the that doesn't work for me
just-
brother card.
I disagree with you because I think that sometimes the emotion of a retirement match could add to the match itself. Like, for example, as much as I hate to say it, the Shawn Michaels Ric Flair retirement match. was very-
But that was so hollow because it literally, like, I think it's like
I know why Jose's laughing. I know why Jose's laughing.
I knew that
I
Ric
saw that
Flair
match
was gonna
live.
Go to fucking TNA. I knew once he was done, he was just going to TNA.
Yeah,
It just didn't mean anything.
I was there
I get
watching-
where
I
you're
was
coming
there to
from,
see that
Gary.
match.
Like, don't get me wrong. I don't because I don't want to dismiss what you're saying because you're not wrong. But because we've had the returns and the returns and returns,
Mhm.
at this point in time, it's kind of lost its meaning.
yeah.
So back then, absolutely, but now, like even with like Hogan,
I'm still sad that we never got to see the greatest retirement match of all time. Hulk Hogan, Ric Funk, and Terry Flair. Or Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Terry Funk. That would have been the greatest retirement match of all time.
is it harsh to say that he should have retired around his feud with The Rock?
Hogan?
Yeah.
No. I think actually that would have been the time for him to go. It should have honestly been a one-off if it was up to me.
Yeah.
Rock Hogan too.
Yep. I would have
Yeah,
done
I
like
think
I would have had like 2003 be it. Like, okay, have your match with Vince and then get the fuck out. That's where the story ends. It's like you started with Vince, you end with Vince.
Yeah.
That would have been the perfect way to
by
go.
the way, was fucking awful.
The No Way Out match? Yeah, it was terrible.
They could not replicate what because what happened in the first match. I mean, the match itself wasn't that amazing. Just the crowd was so.
The crowd
into it.
made the match.
The crowd, baby.
Yeah.
The crowd
the crowd
made that
made-
match. I
yeah.
go back and rewatch that match all the time just for the crowd.
If you mute it,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay, this match is boring as fuck. But if you
Yeah.
listen to the crowd, you're like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. Like, yeah.
And say what you want to say about Hogan, but he's still a wily enough veteran, and with a guy who's established like The Rock to know that they had to switch roles.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, and they did it superbly, and you know,
The
because
only
of the way
thing-
the crowd was, yeah.
The only thing I'm going to say about Rock Hogan 2 was the promos were fucking amazing. Like, they were in Indianapolis and the Rock gets on his cell phone and he's like, hey, yo, shut the fuck up. I'm like trying to talk to my agent. And it was like,
he's
that
Hollywood
was-
Rock. That was
that was the best
That was his best.
incarnation of the Rock.
that was his best heel run
Hollywood
ever.
Rock was
Hollywood
Yeah.
Rock was fucking
Yeah.
Hollywood Rock was the
it
best.
didn't last long enough. That's my only complaint about Hollywood Rock. It could have gone on a year and I would have loved every second of it.
Yeah, but I think at that
Zamario
point he
has
was
been
on his way
replaced.
out.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ho-
with
Hollywood-
a new and improved Zamario, who's sober as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well be fucking Muslim to tell you the truth. I don't fucking drink. You know what I mean? And not because I don't want to drink, it's that I can't drink, that I drive for a living. There's a difference. You know what I mean? So, anyways.
I tried a beer. I tried a beer the other day. That's the first beer I've had in about 6 years, and I could take 2 sips, and it was vile. And the only reason I had it is because it's been in my fridge that we have for guests, and it was kind of out of date. So I thought, let's give it a try. And I
Yeah.
was like,
I'm not really a beer guy. What's up, Mage?
Hey, Mage.
Mage. What is it? This is a pleasant surprise.
I'm going to guess he's here to talk Final Fantasy. I bet. Watch this.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I knew it.
That's fine. We could transition from wrestling to Final Fantasy.
Negro Damas is right once again, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Jackson should have not have been a singer. Michael Jackson should have been a carpenter.
Negro Thomas.
So I
That
think
is
Bo-
brilliant.
Bobby Flay's about to join us. There he is. Speaking
Oh,
of
yeah.
Neville.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
an
gotta-
American invasion.
I got to download that
It's
shit.
Clench your buttholes.
I got to download
We
that
are
shit.
the
So how
finishers.
is it? How is it? Because I'm going to download it when we're done here.
Is it the demo?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a demo.
I look, I have no inkling of Final Fantasy. Never got involved in it. This was the first time I played it, and I have to say, it was the cutscenes were when you do it, don't do story mode,
Okay.
do action mode. You'll be given the 2 choices. I made the wrong choice of doing story mode because, like Metal Gear Solid, sometimes these cutscenes just go on and on and on. I
Oh,
just wanna
okay.
play the fucking. I just want to
That's
play the
just the
fucking game.
difficulty. That's just the difficulty setting.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
It's gonna be cutscene heavy. It's a
'Cause
it's a Final Fantasy game.
Because I can remember like
Yeah.
the one on PlayStation. Like I'm like, all right, if it takes me back to that, I'm excited for it. Because I remember playing the one on PS1 way back, and I really remember enjoying it.
But
Do you mean 7? The one with
no, it's
Cloud?
not 7, dude. This is 16. This is
16.
different.
Oh, okay. So this is
This
something
is the
different.
one
then.
set
Okay.
in like medieval Europe.
Okay.
Exactly.
it's a-
All right. Medieval
Yeah,
Europe.
but-
That's told
but
me.
Overall,
Too many white
I
people
did.
for you, Jose.
Yeah, with like Chinese, like Japanese looking sort of like
Yeah, with
artistic
Japanese looking
features.
white people.
Yeah, exactly. But nevertheless, it was okay. I mean, like some of the fighting was interesting. I guess maybe I have to level up my character a bit more to improve things. I did play other characters as well. Like, what's the name of the little boy? Is it Joshua?
Joshua.
Joshua.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Some of his abilities. It reminded me of Devil May Cry to a degree. Some of the levels,
Hmm.
I mean, some of the boss battles as well. A little bit
Because-
here and there.
One of the
Okay.
is it the action director or
It's the action combat director. It's
Yeah.
the combat director for 16. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's you.
Devil? We expected Devil May Cry going into this.
So you
Okay.
should-
So
Yeah,
Oh,
all right.
Zam,
But,
if you want to, if you want to see
we-
kind of what your skill set would be like later on, there's the iconic challenge mode that you unlock.
Yeah, the only thing is, I just can't justify spending £84 for this fucking game, man. You know what I mean? It's so expensive. It's £84
Is that,
in the
is
UK.
that for the standard?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
That's
No,
for the
it's
standard?
It's 60 quid.
PS5 games are $70
No, it's not. It's 60
baseline.
quid.
Let me see what it is for deluxe, because
80
that
quid?
was the one. That's the
80
one I want. So let me take a look.
$89.99.
I
Just
can't.
pre-ordered.
Damn. I pre-ordered
Jesus.
Spider-Man. I pre-ordered Spider-Man today, and with state tax here in the weed state, it came out to $86.
Man,
Why?
Yeah,
Like, games are
HMV
becoming-
online, 60 quid.
games are becoming like one fourth, like
Oh,
one, a
God, I
quarter
did
of the
Final
price of a
Fantasy
console.
6, not 16. What
Games are becoming like the quarter of the price of a console.
Yeah,
It's
for real.
ridiculous. You know
I
what
remember
mean?
back in the
It's-
day. I remember like 10 years ago, we used to pay like $90 for the full fucking game, and now you're paying like $120 for the entire game, if not
What?
more.
No, mate, I remember like you
where are
spend
you
like
paying
£30
that kind of
on
money
a
for a
fucking game.
Back in the
No,
day-
it's 60 quid, dude. I don't know where you got 80. Are you looking at the digital version?
Yeah, that's,
I think
that's
I
what
think
he was
he's
looking at, 'cause
looking. I
see
think
60
he's
quid as
looking
well.
at the like deluxe edition.
Yeah, let me take a look and see what I'm
Got, like
looking
little
at.
bonuses, like like I don't know, like
You get the art book and the
icons
soundtrack
worth
and all that
ones or
kind of shit.
something.
Yeah, Sam, are you looking at the right edition? Because it's 60 for the base.
Let's see. Yeah, I know
Okay, so,
Spider-Man 2. I pre-ordered that shit.
Just what I saw when it came to downloading. I saw 84.99. I'm thinking, fuck me. You know what I mean? But all right, fine. I
Yeah,
must have missed
that's
that one.
that's probably like the digital PlayStation marked up price because
Okay.
piss.
$89.99 for the deluxe. All right.
And,
Yeah.
like-
even so that even after playing the game, I'm not sure if I'm willing to just like fork out 60 quid for it, because the gameplay was fine, but I'm just not into Final Fantasy, and having to spend that sort of money.
But I was very interested in what your
Okay,
thoughts
can we
would
have?
be.
Let's have. I don't mean to be rude, but I want to get what the two experts think.
Yeah, because then they can sell us on it.
Get their opinions on what they think so far, because I'm in the middle with getting this one because I love
Mhm.
15, but
And if somebody that hasn't played Final Fantasy in forever, this could be the one that gets me back into it.
yeah. So, Mage Cheetah, what did you guys think of it
Mhm.
so far?
Go ahead, Mage.
I was thoroughly impressed. I had got myself all hopped up on Hopium, though deep down I was really afraid that it was gonna be like 15 and just be so terrible. But this plot's gonna be amazing. I think. It's very dark, but if you think
Okay.
back, we've had really dark Final Fantasy plots before. They just weren't presented in a mature rating format.
And they're also like they were pixelated. I mean, like I'm assuming you're talking about like Final Fantasy like 4 and Final Fantasy 2 and
6 was really dark too.
yeah,
I
and 6 was really dark too. And those are all like 2D games, so it's kind of hard to present those as a dark game when it's like you kind of got a 2D pixel type thing going on.
No, you're absolutely correct, Cheeto. But I really hyped up for it. I was impressed with the combat, and I'm more of a turn-based stan, but it's fun. I like Devil May Cry, so I'm enjoying this combat.
I've got one question. Is
yes,
it turn-based?
No.
It is
Okay.
action combat.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Then that sells me right there, because I'm not big on turn-based for most games, but I'm like,
Well,
all right.
Final Fantasy 15 wasn't turn-based. Like, I mean, like, so,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
it
why I-
played like Kingdom Hearts. This plays like Devil May Cry.
Okay, then
Yeah,
that sold me. That
well,
sold me.
I mean, it's the guy that developed Devil May Cry that helped make this
Yes.
game. Am I not
Yes.
mistaken? Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
then
sir.
y'all.
That's why it feels like that.
yeah, it's
that-
Devil May. It's going to be Devil May Cry with a Final Fantasy.
Devil May
spin on
Final
it.
Fantasy Cry. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, then that sold me, because I love Devil May Cry. I will purchase it.
All right, next question, guys. How do we feel about Game of Thrones?
I felt Game of Thrones. This was very Game of Thronesy. Everything
Yes.
about it was very Game
Fine.
of Thronesy.
Oh, you
I-
mean Final Fantasy 16?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
final
yeah.
game of Fantasy
Oh,
Thrones.
Okay.
oh,
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
intriguing.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I like it.
Yeah.
There is something though. There is something though that I'm going to plug for PS5 people. Get an external or get an internal drive to put in your PS5 plate because, like Cheeto and I have said previously, this game is going to take up half of your fucking PS5 people. Just
How
expect
big
that
is
now.
it? 120 gigs.
Probably over that.
I would say closer to 150.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Oh.
That was a Call of Duty fucking levels, man.
Yeah. It's probably. I mean, it probably will be. I mean, look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, 2 discs on PS5.
That is crazy.
When
And
does
I'm-
Final Fantasy Rebirth come out?
Supposed to be out next year, I think in February. I could.
Yeah, I
No,
think so.
they said
but-
who you talking about? Final Fantasy Rebirth or?
Yeah, 7
Yeah.
Rebirth.
7?
Here's the thing. They said that it was going to be early 2024, and it, the first part of Final Fantasy Remake came out in April of 2020. So I'm guessing they're going to aim for that April date again, or at least
Okay.
like a March or April, because it sold
Gonna be
gangbusters at that point.
huge as well. 2 discs.
That's what she said.
on a PS5.
She did say that. She was like, "It's going to be huge," and yeah, it's like, damn right, it's going to be huge.
Yeah, you need 2 discs to handle it.
The comparison photos I've been seeing online, where they show the original vistas from the world map of the 7 we got in 1997. The locations in Rebirth look very lovingly crafted. They look amazing. It's gonna feel great to go to those, walk up to Junon and see the cannon from the distance and all that kind of great
And
stuff.
the Highwind parked up top.
Yes.
I know,
Okay,
right?
yeah, y'all. Okay, yeah, y'all sold me. I'm gonna be getting that when that comes
Listen,
out.
DH, all we'd have to do is say, "Hey, we like it," and DH would be like, "I'm sold. I'm
Yep.
sold."
That's the beauty, man. It's just like, yeah, I'm in. Fuck it.
I'm in.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, recommendation.
not?
I'm good. I'm sold."
Yep. I'm always looking for stuff to play.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I have a slight bit of an opposing view. Not that I
Okay.
didn't like the game at all, but me and Mage were actually talking about this a little bit between the two of us. Was I think the pendulum might be swinging though, like the too far the opposite way. Like they're going really dark. Like I don't have a problem with the blood and the cussing and the killing. That all makes sense.
You
But
don't.
like there is, and I'm not spoiling anything for anybody, but there is a scene towards the end of the demo that even I don't even think majorly caught on to, but it's pretty. It's like the boys level of.
Ooh.
It's Game of Thrones. It's Game of Thrones. If you watch Game of Thrones, then you'll be comparing it to that.
You're just
Yeah, I
making
mean-
me moist.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
this is getting me
this is-
excited. Like I'm like, all right.
She's selling it even more for me.
I know, right? That's what I figured.
But prior to watching this, so playing this, Cheeto mentioned it's gonna have swearing and stuff like that. When I'm playing it, I'm thinking to myself, where is this swearing? And then at the very end, he goes, I'll fucking kill you all. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. They dropped several F bombs in the beginning too, and they dropped.
Okay, good.
I had
They
to.
talked
I had
about
to
shit
drop.
and fuck, and they
I had
they
to-
had a ton
I
of
had to-
language.
Okay.
It's not
I had
enough,
to cut-
though. It's not
I had
enough.
to-
Needs more.
I
think the
cut
most-
to jump
I
a
think the
couple of
most-
cutscenes because it was too much.
I think the
Too
most
much.
important question we have to ask: are there whores in Final Fantasy?
Not yet.
Damn.
I don't know.
I don't know,
Benedicta in the
maybe.
beginning.
I mean, besides you, DH. I mean,
I got to give you that one. That was good.
wait, who?
Well, they might look. I mean, the game is very early, and they're still around like the kingdoms and shit like that. If they start venturing away from all of that, then you might come across whores, and I'm all for whores.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to
Yeah,
fuck
Sam
them
likes
on a
horses.
regular basis.
Sam's
We all
like the
like
Charlie
horses.
Cheat
Get
Gene of
over
our
it.
channel.
Yeah. So, but it looks beautiful. It's a pretty looking. But I mean, for me, like seeing some of this, I think what it is with Japanese game makers is that they sometimes just don't want to get people from outside of their like circle to maybe get involved in stuff, because so some of the looks of some of these characters, I'm thinking to myself, they just don't look like one guy will look proper European, and then like some of the more leading characters just got these sort of faces about them that you feel like they belong on anime. and I'm thinking to myself, it just doesn't feel right. It feels a bit weird.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that's-
that's fair. Oh, mate, you know how it goes with the Japanese. They have their certain look for the characters. That's what sells for them.
I mean, it's definitely a
it's-
different. Like they say that every Final Fantasy is like a different animal in and of itself, and I feel like that in like combat systems. I think in this game they're definitely swinging for the fences, like tone wise. Like this Final Fantasy is going to be in a different tone than any Final Fantasy that has come before it.
The games have constantly been reinventing themselves the entire history of the series, though, like you said. But I would go, like you said, you pointed out combat specifically. The storytelling evolved leaps and bounds, and would go, tackle different types of themes. Look at different, kind of lenses, and I feel like this plot's going to combine several of those themes from our past. I feel like we're going to get the Cecil Final Fantasy IV theme of questioning orders, and at what point does your duty and your personal ethics, where do you draw the line? And we're going to have the being people used as weapons like we got in 6 with the characters of Terra and Celeste. So they're combining a lot of different story elements from the past, but they've constantly evolved, and it's never been the same game twice. So a lot of the arguments on the net right now are, it doesn't feel like Final Fantasy. Well, yeah, people surely said that when 2 first came out in Japan. And then when 3
I was
came
about
out
to say
in
Final
Japan.
Fantasy has never been the same unless it's been a sequel. Like there's always been like huge differences between Final Fantasies, whether it be tone, whether it be combat system, and usually, as I said, the one thing that always changes is the combat system. Even if it's a minor change, it's still always the change.
And jumping in on 16 is my first time playing it. 16, you know what I mean? Like, all right, I had no idea what the fuck they were talking about. Not a fucking Scooby.
Well, but that's the thing, though, is that I don't think you really have to play any previous Final Fantasies. I mean, even with the summons and the icons and all that stuff, like you all you need to know is big, powerful monsters. Like,
Yeah.
Have you played the demo?
All you need to
Have
know.
you played the demo, Dochito?
Huh?
You played the demo, have you?
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah, actually, my demo Let's Play is up on YouTube on Milquetoast Gaming.
Okay. I'm just saying that if I had the chance to go back in time, I would have chosen action. I would have chosen action mode, not story mode.
Yeah, I chose
That's
action
all I'm
mode
saying.
because I'm not a pussy.
Okay.
He just pissed off half the Final Fantasy base.
You bastard! I know. No, but the action mode, story mode. I just wanted to. I thought maybe I didn't know like what would be the best choice. It was hard to say. This was a very unique option for me, and I thought to myself, well, let's just see what story is. I didn't think it was gonna be so padded that I'll be waiting like 10 minutes between cutscenes for a fucking bit of gameplay, and the gameplay I finally get is move this character forward, and then we get another 10, and then we get another fucking 10 minutes of fucking cutscenes. Like, come on, man!
God, they're going the Metal Gear Solid 4 route. Yeah.
Yeah, which is what I mentioned in the chat.
I still don't. I think you would still get those same scenes even if you were in action mode.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be cutscene heavy and plot heavy.
So it's going to be one of those things where it's like you need to grab your popcorn, grab your soda because you're going to be sitting there for a minute.
In the beginning, yes, but once they kind of let you out into the world, which usually takes a while, once they let you out into the world, that's when it really opens up and you have a chance to do the thing.
Okay. So it's a slow build. It's like we're going to start out slow, and then we'll give you more freedom as you go. All right.
Yeah, no, get cozy in, get tucked in, ready to just enjoy some plot for the first hour.
Okay.
But the action builds gradually. But like Cheeto said, it's going to take a while to get where they let you loose. But this one's going to have more open exploration than they've had in a long time, it would seem, from a lot of the stuff I've been seeing.
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
Have you not played it? Have you not played it yet, Mage?
Oh, I've played the demo. I've played through it twice. I had to make sure I caught that scene at the end that Cheeto pointed out that I missed an important detail on. So, huge piece of context there
I tell you what, this game actually triggered me in a different way because it just reminded me of how much I hate the fucking royal family. Because there were moments.
Oh my god! Like she is getting so much hate on the net already. Like
No,
my wife wanted to throttle her.
No, fuck that woman. I mean, she was very Game of Thrones and all of that. Fair enough, but just the fact that like you're playing members of royalty and stuff like that, and people are walking past you and they're going, my liege or my sire, my king, my whatever. Like the way they're talking to you and they're bowing to you. Like one person drops an apple near one of the character Clive, and then he's really apologetic that he dropped an apple next to this person. Like, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at least Clive was like cool about it,
Yeah.
No, but I know Clive was cool, but and that's really cool as well. But the fact that they live in a world where they feel that they have to be apologetic that an apple rolled by a prince. You know what I mean? It just made me think. It made me think to myself, I really hate our fucking royal family. You know what I mean? I really do, because that's the sort of indication people have of royalty. That they are easily pissed off and upset over minuscule things, and I can't wait until the royal family is no more, but probably not in my lifetime, unfortunately. Yeah. So
see, that's interesting. See, I never would have reacted to that scene in that way. So your different point of view from your different life experience. But I can see exactly what you're saying. But
well, I've actually just to go on a tangent here. I was driving along this road called Victoria Embankment, and there was some police coming the other direction, and they were stopping cars from going by, and then next thing you know, there's more police vehicles behind the police, and there's a couple of like big cars, and then I could see through the window one of the cars, and there's King Charles sitting at the fucking back. You know what I mean? And that's the sort of life he lives now, like where he has to get police escorts wherever he goes. The guy has no idea what traffic jam is because he's always able to weave through it with the police with their fucking sirens and shit like that. I'm sure when he drives when he's in a car, all he ever hears is fucking sirens because he's surrounded by cops all the fucking time. It's just a weird fucking life, and we're paying for it, for these other human beings to be treated so extravagant in such an extravagant way that I detest it beyond fucking belief. The disdain I have for it, and I see this shit all the time. I'm driving past Buckingham Palace. You know how many homeless people could be put in that fucking building instead of some fucking inbred nonce. You know what I mean? It boils my fucking blood. Sorry, I apologize.
I need for sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe Final Fantasy isn't the best place for Zam.
Maybe not. No.
I could see
the game that scene that triggered him.
I could see the
I'm like, wow, I got triggered by a lot.
I could see a series happening now if we do it. We could do a Zam rage play, and he would just be playing the game, and he'd just be cutting a promo. He'd be like, "I fucking hate the royal family and all this type of shit," and he would just go on like a long ass fucking diatribe. And we're like, "We don't even care about the game. We're just here to hear you rant."
Yes.
When the Queen died, people queued for fucking 3 days to see her fucking coffin. These fucking dickheads. They queued for 3 fucking days, and anyone who spoke up against the monarchy were arrested and shit at that placard. So there's no freedom of speech in this fucking country, even though we like to pretend to. I mean, there's a lot of countries pretend they have freedom of speech. Even America does, but they'll fucking arrest you on the spot if they don't like what you're fucking saying. But they'll happily let neo-Nazis fucking wave their flags outside Disney World because it's freedom of speech. You know what I mean? So anything which is remotely left wing will get fucking arrested, and people like myself, we can't speak up against things that we can't speak up against authority because the people in charge, the authority themselves will come down on you, and that's the world we live in.
All right.
That's Final Fantasy 16. Wow, that's a lot in that game. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
A lot there, man. A lot to unpack. Ooh.
Yes.
No, don't play that demo without having your spoons level, your mental resource level high, because it could take you to a dark place emotionally. But I
Fair
mean,
enough.
but I mean, is it? I mean, it means it's art. We interpret it in different ways, and it elicits emotional response. I mean, is that not the definition of art? And
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that
yeah,
video games
yeah.
have advanced to that level.
I don't blame Final Fantasy for that. It gave me reminders. Like I love Game of Thrones. You know what I mean, as well. And I've been watching the most recent series, which is the House of the Dragon, and all of that sort of stuff. I fucking love it. You know, regardless of the fact that it's got royal families and shit like that. You know, those things don't bother me. Like Return of the King. You know, do you think I fucking hate Aragorn? Of course not. The guy's a fucking badass. You know what I mean?
know,
I'll
you
fucking
guys just had
follow
your
that
own Return of the King this past year.
guy. Return of the Nonce. You know what I mean? Return of the Sausage Fingers. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So
Let's talk about James Gunn again. I want to see Ginger get all worked up and.
What's that?
Well,
you see his fucking eyes just wide open.
well,
James who?
nice about him now. So Ginger, you may want to go away for 5 minutes while I say something nice about him.
Go say whatever you want about him. I'm not that invested in what James Gunn is.
Well, he did an interview with a son of you interview with Michael Rosenbaum, right? And the guy comes across as a really nice guy. Like he was like talking about like.
Well, it's not a question of whether he's a nice guy. It's just that he sucks as a director. That's it.
Yeah, I'd
I'm
be
sure
happy
he's a
too if
nice
I had
guy.
his wife.
Yeah,
I mean-
No, but he was talking about like what he likes to do as a director, which is like he tries to make something that's different. And the thing is that, and I can kind of like see what he's talking about because he was talking about how Marvel movies have gotten into this same kind of holding pattern, and he wants to try and make something different. He was like going, well, the thing that I've noticed about Marvel is they're going into like a holding pattern.
Yeah, but
But then he does the
made it
same
that
fucking
way.
thing with Suicide Squad 2 and with the pacifier or whatever it's bloody called, Peacemaker. All right. And
You say
he-
pacifier?
Pacifier.
Pacifier, wasn't that? It's not Vin Diesel.
he's the reason for the Marvel blueprint now. He caused it. It's his fault.
Yeah.
So he should I'm not saying he should take responsibility because that's on the producers, not on him. James Gunn just went in and made a fantastic first Guardians of the Galaxy film. And then after that, Marvel like, right, every single film's gonna have as many jokes and stupid music and as much as possible. Throw it in all these films.
That's probably why we got Ragnarok the way we did.
Yeah.
I can see
That's
James
exactly
Gunn
why
all
we
over-
got Ragnarok like that.
Yeah, that I can see Guardians all over Ragnarok. Ragnarok.
Yep.
and Sakura
But
robots.
Taika Waititi and James Gunn, they're almost birds of a feather. So you got to look at who wrote those.
No, they
films
are
and
now,
made those
that's for
films.
sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Ginger a shirt that says James Gunn and Taika Waititi need to die now.
Yeah, you might want to stay away from Superman then, because you know that. Yeah, James Gunn and
Oh, mate,
Superman.
I have no fucking interest in the DC stuff going forward.
I do.
You know.
I mean, the thing is that
Yo, really? Boss Man's got interest in the DC stuff?
I'm shocked.
well, the thing is that like, look, you Marvel cunts. Sorry, I'm going to say this to Dan for a minute. You Marvel cunts.
Marvel.
What
Let's go.
Because I hate DC.
So
no
I'm
matter
releasing
what,
it a little bit.
You give it to
Yeah.
them, Gary. You give it to them. You give it to them
Yeah,
hard.
never read a DC comic book in my life.
never, ever, ever.
I didn't enjoy New 52 at all. I didn't buy so many damn comics from that era.
We lost Mage.
Oh, God
I
damn it.
actually have at my home.
Well,
in
show's
Manchester, I've got like a entire wall of the number ones for the new 52.
What did you do? Piss on the wall? What?
So,
Yeah, mate.
should
New
tell you how big
52,
of a fan I am.
underrated era. Don't care. I was so
yeah,
annoyed.
like,
I was so annoyed with people that
I'm
didn't
saying-
like it. I was like, "Fuck you." Yeah, I'm all for that.
do you know what? When I go, I'm going to show you what my wall's like. Here you go.
All right.
But what I'm saying is that Superman, if the new Superman's good, then they're good. Because what he said was that he doesn't like the kind of cartoony, over-the-top crap that's come with Superman recently. And he's
His
right.
stuff
about
is
that. I mean,
cartoony,
Superman's-
though. Just generally.
Not
But
really,
Superman,
because-
in my opinion, Man of Steel, and I think some of the stuff under Zack Snyder wasn't cartoony whatsoever.
No, I like
Joss
Man
Whedon-
of Steel. Like
I
that's
wasn't
the
a
one
fan of
film
Man
I
of Steel.
liked.
I didn't like Man of Steel because I thought the ending was there was so much destruction that that to end it on a happy ending after all that level of mass death and destruction, I
Yeah,
felt was.
I am Hope.
It
Hang
wa-
on, mate. Just level the whole fucking.
I just and like, you know, Clark Kent joins the fucking Daily Planet and they're all smiling
Yeah.
and everyone's happy. Like it just felt very unwarranted.
I felt very happy at the end.
Yeah, well, you like your happy endings, don't you? So, but,
Doesn't everyone feel happy at the end?
Yeah. But I didn't think Henry Cavill's Superman was remotely cartoony. You know what I mean? I thought it was a good representation. I do feel that this like Superman in today's world wouldn't be somebody that would be universally liked, no matter how much of a decent person he is individually. I think there will be always people who'll be skeptical of him, not just bad guys, but like Lex Luthor, but all types of people, you know, because in the Christopher Reeve movies, everybody loved him all over the fucking world. They all fucking loved him, and I think Zack Snyder did try to make it more authentic that not everybody would love him, and some people who did love him would actually worship him in all of that sort of thing. So it would be one extreme to the other. I actually appreciated some of that representation in the film. I thought that was much more realistic. But but he needed him rescuing a few more cats out of trees, to tell you the truth. He needed a few more of those sort of things. Basic
It's like
Superman
the whole
shenanigans.
city's getting leveled. You got Superman flying through and he grabs a cat out of a tree. Wow.
Yep.
But it wasn't for me. I felt like, you know, like there was too much of him fighting bad guys when it should be a little bit more of him rescuing regular people, which is why people found Christopher Reeve's Superman so lovable, because he was going out of his way to save people.
And that's
Yeah, I
fine.
mean,
You wanted a Superman film that was exactly the same as the previous Superman films.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying character
Returns.
wise.
I actually like Superman Returns.
No. I know. No, what I said, regardless, how people perceive him will be different in today's world. But character wise, he still needed to do some of the elements that were in the original.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
We
We lost Sam.
What the fuck happened?
What the hell?
Here? What the hell happened here?
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Booted us
That was
all
weird.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all just. Yeah, Mage will be
That's
back.
all of Zack Snyder's worshippers. Like they heard Zam and they're just like, "Fuck this guy, shut him down."
So as I was saying, you know, I still
Send him
want
to Guantanamo.
to still do like the rescuing of cats out of trees, like maybe Christopher Reeve did. But I would still like the elements of today's world, where regardless of him being the most greatest superheroic person ever, there'll be people who just would not fucking buy. He's a fucking alien, you know, and they'll never trust him. You know what I mean? Regardless of what good he does.
Oh, we can we can never have a Superman film that is built around today's culture.
Yeah, there's no way.
Redneck lose their fucking mind, melt down like, wait a minute, what we bad guys around here?
Yeah, so that's what we call the boys.
No, I mean, if it was based upon today's culture, we'd have like people like Fox News and stuff like that saying, "Should we trust this alien?"
Bro, here's what would happen.
He wants to
Bro, here's what would happen.
You know, how can he represent us when he's not from us and stuff like that?
If it was today's time, Superman would be wearing pink with a rainbow fucking cape, and conservatives would lose their fucking mind. That would be your modern Superman movie. Yep. And people would lose their fucking minds.
His rights to lose their shit as well.
Yeah.
All right. Mage says, I'm coming out of my depth at this point. The USB controller on my PC
Yeah.
is acting crazy. I'm going to hop off. Thanks. So, look, you didn't have to make up like a whole thing. You could have just said, hey, I'm going to dip, you know? Like,
yeah, like, yo, man, I'm out.
Yeah, be like, all right, I'm out. This ain't my thing, yo.
Poor Mage.
We're not talking
He
Final
wants to
Fantasy
talk Final
anymore.
Fantasy, and this fucking Al Qaeda hijacks it. About fucking royal family.
Mate, it's what I fucking do. You know what I mean?
That's what I do.
You know,
because that's what I do.
Man.
We always have to check Zam's bags every time he gets on the
Mate,
stream.
if you want to come back and talk pure Final Fantasy, feel free to, honestly.
Yeah, you can do a bit of Star Trek for you as well.
To the forum.
You know what I mean?
Or you can watch some of our videos that me and Mage have made. That we've made a plethora of Final Fantasy videos right here on the channel. If you go into our playlist and look for Final Fantasy, you will see me and Major Rage and even sometimes Gary talking about
Cheap plug.
Yeah, cheap plug. No, this is a very expensive plug.
I've got some cheap plugs somewhere.
Yeah, no, the cheap plugs you get
Oh,
infections
goodness.
and stuff. You don't want those.
Yeah, you don't want those.
Can we just talk about the best thing that's happened this week, which has been Boris Johnson get absolutely pummeled up the arse by the Flaming Privilege Committee?
Oh wait, my USB cable's messing up. I think I'm gonna hop off.
Well, it's very easy to say that he every time Boris Johnson tries to make a comeback to take power, more and more stuff leaks about him. So this time when he was coming in to take power, they're like, okay, fuck it, let's just throw the death knell at this stupid cunt and
shut this shit down now.
They leaked all the stuff about the WhatsApp stuff, and then he went before the committee, and before they could suspend him as an MP and force a by-election, he just resigned. He took the coward's way out because he's a prick, and it leaves the door open for him to return.
Yeah, that's what they all do when they all get in trouble. They go with that. Oh, I got to resign because of whatever bullshit reason. He
ends up fucking getting a job at the Daily Mail, 6-figure sum, and failing upwards. So this piece of shit who partied his ass off like the sociopath is while we were all locked down, and me and my mum and my brother had to fight with the hospital to go and see my dad while he was dying of cancer. And they luckily let us in, and this piece of shit was just like, tough, we're gonna party. The rest of you have to stay in your house. You can't go out anywhere. You're locked down because we fucked everything up so badly that we had to go into lockdown. And those of you that want to go see your loved ones in the hospital, you have to cry and beg and plead.
He was doing fucking lines of coke of Liz Truss tits. And by the way, Liz Truss, terrible prime minister, an amazing rack, amazing fucking rack. I mean. But some of the best hits I've ever seen on the Prime Minister.
Boris Johnson is, for some reason that I cannot understand, attractive to really powerful women. I don't know why. Maybe he's got a big cock. I don't know. But there's something about him that'll maybe just find attractive.
He's one of the most. At one point, he was one of the most powerful people in the world. He was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Mate, even before that, he was. The guy's got like 50 kids.
Yeah.
How much testosterone do you have to have? I mean, damn. Like,
that guy fucks like a rabbit. He's had more affairs than a fucking rock star.
The guy went to Eton. Oh, my favorite.
Hey, I was wondering if he was going to show up.
We're talking about you about spreading our legs open. If I was a lot younger and I was more nimble, I'll show you my crack right now on fucking screen. But unfortunately, I just can't, man. It's just so difficult, But yeah, sorry. I'm easy. Yeah, we're all easy, mate. That's why we're guys. You know what I mean?
You literally just have to have a back up to go sex. All right. There is none of this having to play emotional games with us and wear us down or whatever other bollocks. It's just like sex. It's like, yep.
Sex. Yep. Okay, I'm there. Yep.
Yeah. Sex. Yep. Okay.
You can even code it. Nookie. Oh, yep. There. Yep.
Yeah.
What was the name of that movie with I'm just finding it now. Harrison Ford and Hesh. 6 Days, 7 Nights.
6 days, 7 nights. Yeah.
And Anne Heche's character is writing a book about how to get how to get the interest of a man as a woman, and Harrison Ford blatantly says to her, "Just turn up."
My mom used to watch that movie all the goddamn time.
Was it because of David Schwimmer?
Was David Schwimmer in there? I don't know.
Yeah, he was.
I never watched it.
He played Anne Heche's boyfriend, and this other girl with this Latin American girl with big tits.
All right, well,
Harrison Ford's
Zam, your
girlfriend.
friend, funeral friends here.
Yep.
Sex is far better than voting for Democrats.
I agree.
Yes, it's far
Dude,
better than voting just generally.
Yeah,
It's better than
it's
voting
better than-
generally.
I mean, what, you telling me if you vote Republican, you shoot your load? You know what I mean?
It's a few factors for
Is that what you're saying?
you compare it to.
Oh, God.
Oh, the last time I shot my load while
you have
casting
to
my
pull
vote
something,
was
yes
in
or no, but like yourself,
2015 and
hey,
17.
right.
Even though I was voting for a shit MP, who I fucking hate the bitch, I still voted for her because Corbyn was the leader. And I was just, hop, skip, and a jump. I was like, hey, take my tick. I think it's one of the only 2 times I've ever voted Labour.
And then you're like, yeah, this is the best we fucking got. That's how we feel here in America too. We're like, this is who we got. Oh, okay, then.
Well, Corbyn was the best we fucking had. He would have been another Clement Attlee, who was the guy that built the country after the war. But unfortunately, we can't have left-wing governments in any country.
As do most Republicans. So
Yeah, as do most of them.
Well, look, anybody who's there for the people, the media are going to dismantle them and make it come out that he doesn't give a fuck about the people. While people who are not there for the people, the media are going to make out like they are, and it upsets me that I live in a country with so many gullible fucking dickheads that they fall for this shit time and time again.
Oh, mate, the English are the stupidest people on the planet when it comes to politics.
Oh, bro, you and I could go back and forth making fun of like everybody, and we would have a field day with who's so stupid.
The thing is, like, Jose, what people need to understand about the English, and I say the English, and I'll put the Welsh in there as well, not the Scottish or the Northern Irish. Okay, the thing people need to understand about the English and the Welsh is that when I say that the people in this country are so dumb politically, I mean they don't even know who their local MP is. They don't even know who's running their councils. Okay, they just see Labour or Conservative, but they don't know the people running it. They don't know legislation. They don't know fucking anything. At least in America, you can say, okay, I know who my congressman is. I know who my senator is. I know, which wanker's running the local school board, all this kind of shit. Like, they know stuff there. Here, they're wrapped up in their own world and they have no opinion. That every opinion, it is like in America, it's just like, oh, that's what the Daily Mail tells me, that's what the Sun tells me. So that's what the opinion is. And it's been like that for forever. I had a full-blown argument with some woman in the co-op, and this was like Labour were in government at the time, and she had the Daily Mail in her hand, front page of the Daily Mail, something about some asylum seeker, and she's like, "You see this? They're gonna fucking stay in this country." And I turn around and I go to her, "That's not their fault, love." I said, "We're the ones bombing their country. Do you understand that part? Do you understand our foreign policy of how we go and disrupt these countries and steal their resources, and so they have no choice but to come here?" So I said, "It's your fault. It's not their fault." I said, you are the idiots causing all this." And she looked at me like, "Well, yeah, the ones coming over here doing all this shit." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch. Go read The Guardian or something."
Yeah, what funeral friend said, yeah, because that's how it is for us here too, because we don't know who the fuck we got. People don't care.
Okay.
It's like that fucking skit in Grand Theft Auto 4 where it's like there's a guy that's like, I don't know what everybody's so upset about. The government's only taking the freedoms we aren't using anyway.
Jesus.
Well, I actually was debating an American guy who was very patriotic when he was in my cab, and he's right wing. He's against immigration and stuff like that. And I told him, well, if you want to stop immigration in your country, then stop making your country sound so fucking amazing. Stop saying that you're the greatest country in the world. Stop saying you're the freest country in the world. Stop making out that America is the best place to come to, because then people won't come there.
Tell the truth. Got it. Okay.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. It's a third world country with a Gucci belt.
Listen, I'll tell you what. What was that one scene with the one guy from Dumb and Dumber who had that great speech on that TV show? I think it was called The Newsroom, about America's not the greatest country in America.
Jeff Daniels. Yeah.
Yeah, America's not the greatest country in the world anymore.
Yeah.
That is that I shared that out like 15,000 times because I'm like,
People
it's
were
so
I love that
triggered
scene.
by that.
fucking
It was so
true.
good. Yeah. People were
Yeah,
so
because
triggered by that. They wanted that show taken off the air. That's how fucking. And they call the left snowflakes. They couldn't handle the truth. You
I know,
can't
yeah.
handle the truth.
I like the way they had that stupid sorority princess fucking going on. Can you tell us why America's just the greatest country in the world and all that sort of shit? And then he just put her in her place.
He
And then
just laid into her. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm watching this thing going, like, not that I believe that America was like the greatest country in the world beforehand. Like I knew that we had issues and stuff, but like it was put in such an eloquent. Yeah, I can't even talk right.
Eloquent
way.
Typical American, isn't it?
Yeah, right. It's just it's fucking true. Like I mean, you know, like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying America's the worst either. There are plenty of worse countries out there.
Yeah, I agree with you in that.
But it's just like, guys, can we at least admit that there's a problem? You know, can everybody just admit that there's a problem?
Yeah, take off the fucking glasses. Yeah.
I just don't like this saying America is the freest country in the world. I really don't like that.
They don't even rank in the top 30 for the freest countries in the world.
Yeah, like you have
can't even get your healthcare
prisons. No, but you have for-profit prisons, which means that citizens are thrown in jail by corporations to make a fucking buck, which is why the fucking police are so fucking corrupt out there. Because it's, you know, they want to be throwing people in jail because it's fucking profitable.
Hello.
You're not,
Hello.
You know, and you're not the, you know, that's why you're not the freest country in the world, and you're not the greatest country in the world because, well, for one example, I mean, there's so many examples, but I'll take one. That's your fucking kids get killed in schools on a regular basis, you know.
Oh yeah,
gunfire, and
It's
nothing's
their
been
freedom
done about
and their
it.
right to take bullets.
Well,
Yeah, I
and
mean-
also I'm going to bring up and I don't disagree with you a lot on the gun thing, but I also feel like it is a parenting problem as well.
yeah,
You know,
buddy.
I'm not going to sit here and say no guns. I'm not going to sit here and say all guns. I'm going to sit here and say America has a parenting problem. We let our kids, we let like media and, you know, and all these other things raise our kids. And I'm not even saying video games are the problem. They're not.
It's
you know,
the monitoring of the video games that's the problem. It's like, you know,
No, video games are not a problem at all.
No,
monitor what your
it
kid
is parenting because these
monitor what the fuck they're doing. That's the point. Be a fucking parent.
Yeah, probably this year as well, Mr. System. But look,
Yeah.
like I once again I hear you know, people on the right going on, you know, the guns aren't to blame, they're an inanimate object. The people who use the guns are to blame. But I didn't tell those same people that the difference between, say, our country and yours is that, and it's not just our country, loads of countries who are first world countries, is that we don't have an easy access to guns. Guns need to be respected, and you guys give out fucking guns, you know,
Like candy.
very
and
like they give out
candy.
pills.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah,
and I do
yeah, I
agree
mean-
with you on the fact that yes, that as I said, I'm not saying no guns. I'm not saying all guns. I mean, there are problems on both. There are problems on both sides of the argument that need to be addressed.
Well, look, hang on. So let's break it down in more realistic terms, because it's not just a question of the parents and the kids and all this kind of stuff. It's how a nation is propagandized. It's how a nation is brought up. And I've said it once before. The biggest problem with America is they promote individuality, but in a way that fuck what happens to everyone else. So it's all about you.
Can I get
nobody
mine?
else. Yeah, I'm about me and myself and getting everything for me, and I want to be the center of attention, and I demand this, and this, and I don't care if it's a detriment of other people. Whereas if you look at Japan, it's the polar opposite. It's about collectivism. It's about, you know, being respectful to people and your surroundings and all this kind of stuff. And what that does, it breeds a nation of narcissistic sociopaths. And the word no is like a trigger to people, especially narcissists. When they hear the word no, it's like a dagger to the heart.
Yep.
And this is why you have people exploding, put together with the goddamn amount of chemicals in your food, put that in, you know, environment and how you're bred, like that competitiveness, that the stress that puts on people, all the propaganda you're constantly fed, the stress of money and debt and all this kind of stuff. And what you have, and it's not just in America, it's everywhere, is you have a sea of mental health issues. And so everyone is a ticking time bomb because there is no relief, because we've completely destroyed the welfare system. We've completely destroyed it. There's no safety net. And so all this stress and all this kind of shit. And so parents, they're working such long fucking hours that they're under so much pressure. It's difficult for them to monitor their kids. They're too tired to kind of look after their kids. It's not like it was before where you can afford to have just one person working. So somebody was there nurturing, bringing up the kids, keeping an eye on them and all this kind of stuff. It's not like that. And all this culminates into the shit we're seeing today, which, yeah, there are just so many factors. It's never something simplistic. The quickest and easiest way to fix a lot of these problems is to have better pay for people, better rights, and better social safety nets. That's a great start. And then you can work on the other stuff, mental health provisions, gun restrictions, all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I also want to add that at the same time, if we were like America or in the UK where we had the easy access to guns you guys do, we'll be shooting the shit out of each other on the streets just like you motherfuckers are.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Britain would be worse than the States. Are you fucking kidding me? We're like the UK always has higher rates of violent crime. And you can literally just be happily walking down the street and some cunt will just punch you for no reason. Okay, that kind of level of insanity. If you give people in this country guns, Dunblane would have just been like an appetizer. But the good thing with the Labour government was that as soon as Dunblane happened, they said, right, no handguns, you're done, no fucking handguns.
Only Northern Ireland, by the way.
Yeah, well, Northern Ireland, you know, is different because they've got to protect themselves against other crazy idiots and that. But yeah, Scotland, Wales, England, they took away the handguns, and yeah, you know, you could still own a gun in this country, but it's only a hunting rifle, and there's a lot of shit you have to go through.
I've had a few debates with people online. Sorry, Gary, I had a few debates with a couple of people online.
I was just going to say, like, you know, I'm probably more pro-gun than you guys are, because you know it's a different thing. Like America, yeah, I think this is the thing that we in this country don't understand, is that in America there's less waves of like things that need culling. Like for example, like that is part of population control for certain animals to make sure that they don't overfeed on the land, and it's sort of like and it goes back into sort of like cultivation and stuff like that. The problem is with this country is we're much more industrialized. There isn't really that much open, like, sort of countryside space.
Gary,
so
I never said hang on. Again, you pluck things out of your ass, and you know, I never said I was against guns. I said I was against tighter gun control. There's a big difference. The Yanks don't need fucking AR-15s. They don't even need handguns. You can have a hunting rifle, absolutely. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, because
we've got shotguns and rifles here.
Yeah, we've got shotguns and rifles here. We can go hunting here. Yeah, you know, in the UK, you can have a hunting license. You can go culling deers and birds because there are no natural predators left in this country, and so we are the natural predators. And that's why, you know, you're still allowed your hunting rifle and you can go shoot your deer and all of that. So I've never been for banning guns completely. You just don't need fucking.
Yeah, you don't need an AR-15 to walk around.
You don't need an AR-15 and you don't need a handgun.
Yeah,
it's the access as well. Like if you're gonna get a gun, you have to go through.
You have to go through like
loopholes.
Yeah, you have to go through
so much. You know, to earn that respect, mental health checks a lot. To earn the respect of owning a weapon of fucking death.
Like in the UK, I'm not allowed to own a gun. I'm not allowed to own a gun because of mental health history. So they would straight away, I am banned from owning a gun in the UK.
Me too.
And yeah, so but then what would I do with it? What am I going to shoot? You know what I mean? I shot a couple of birds when I was a kid in Greece, but nowadays, sooner shoot fucking a human being. I wouldn't. I'm just saying, like, than harm an animal. So it's just like, what am I going to do with a gun? Play cricket. Hey, yeah. But you can get crossbows in this country as well, so it's all good.
Oh, you saw how like nuts the people are. No offense, guys. How nuts the people are in the States. You know, Dylan Mulvaney sells Bud Light, and you got all these fucking hicknecks buying packets of Bud Light and shooting the shit out of it with automatic weapons.
And they, they still bought the shit, so
they get money anyway, idiots. Yeah,
they buy it just to throw it away or destroy it. You know,
they're
fair
like,
enough.
They're like wrestling fans. Like, oh, I hate WWE, yet I'm still going to watch it.
You can make bullets expensive, except for buckshots. You know, that guy in the shotgun for hunting. All other bullets should be like Chris Rock said it. I love Chris Rock.
Chris Rock said it, yeah.
When he goes, you know, one bullet should cost $10,000, and that makes you really think about killing somebody.
Hello.
Oh, hello, konnichiwa.
I was gonna say that, then I thought, you know what? I ain't gonna fucking pander and fucking. By the way, panda.
Typical racist.
Yeah, and by saying konnichiwa, I'll say you're right, mate. You know what I mean? Because I'm
English, that'd be better. You fucking get out.
Get out my best cockney.
Yeah,
exactly. And what's that name again? Suzaka Yamamoto. By the way, I will say
Yamamoto. Isn't that like a game
designer? Don't. I thought you were going to
come on, like, you know, Suzuki's and Yamamoto's. They're very common surnames in
maybe
Japan.
Yeah.
I think that particular combination, though.
Yeah.
Honda. What's it?
Yamaha. They're surnames.
Hey, I can completely read that. Google Translate.
It says, "Hello, how are you?"
Well, one of my favorite foods, by the way, is Japanese food. I can't get enough sushi. I just eat it all the time. I've had sushi twice this week. Love it. I love it. I love it so fucking much. It's
that and tentacle porn.
Yeah. Yeah. There are actually, I have to admit, there is a bit of Japanese porn I do watch now and again. Yeah, I mean,
Suzuka and Yamoto are two characters from a. Now that might be the person's actual name, but I'm looking it up because I thought I heard that name somewhere before.
Well, I live near an area called Golders Green, and the second largest demographic of people in Golders Green are the Japanese. So
are they? That changed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong, I don't like it's the Jews are still like massive. Yeah, I mean,
it's still predominantly Jewish area, but I didn't realize Japanese was the second highest demographic.
The second largest foreign demographic. I mean, in that sense. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love sushi as well. I don't know about. Okay, you're from Japan, so I can ask you this: do you guys put avocado in all your sushis now? Because all of a sudden, every fucking sushi now has avocado in it, and I hate avocado. I like guacamole.
You hate avocado,
but I hate the way you say it. Avocado.
That's how we say it. Well, what do you say? Avocado. Avocado. I hate avocado. Guac.
Avatomato.
Every sushi has avocado. It now. And I'm like, when did this fucking become a thing?
Avocado.
It depends on the place. So avocado. That means yes. That means yes, unfortunately.
It depends on the place.
All right. Well, it depends on the place. But listen, I was a big connoisseur of sushi. And then they started putting avocado in it, and they never used to. They never used to, at least over here. Like, obviously, I can't speak for Japan, but in Kyoto, see, that's because people in Kyoto have taste.
I have a sushi place down the road from me.
Sushi.
My sushi place is run by a Sri Lankan guy who learned, which is awesome, by the way. He's really cool. Right. He's a cool little Sri Lankan dude who's running this sushi place. And he doesn't even know how to speak Japanese either, which I thought he might be one of those guys who went to Japan, learned the art, and came back and started opening his own sushi restaurant. No, he doesn't speak a word of Japanese either. But still, the sushi I get from him is awesome, and it's reasonably priced as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good to hear, because I remember when I went to Leicester, I saw a Greek restaurant. I thought, let's go to this Greek food. And the Greek food came to me. I took one look at it. I was like, the chef's not Greek, are they? No, we're all Polish. I was like, yeah, bye. I got up and left.
Well,
I just
there's,
took one look at the movie. I was like, there's no, because the thing with like the Greeks, they'll put love into their cooking, not actual.
Yeah,
love.
they call it
Yeah.
love. It's that creamy
They
white
call it
stuff.
tzatziki. But yeah, so
Well-
it's good to know at least the Sri Lankans getting it right.
you ever been to Camberwell by any chance in those sort of
Yeah,
areas?
a couple of times. Yeah.
Well, there's a place called Bagel King in Camberwell.
I
Yeah,
know
and Camberwell,
Bagel King, yeah.
and Camberwell itself is predominantly a black area, Afro-Caribbean and all of that. But Bagel King, even though it's an Afro-Caribbean sort of like fast food place, the people who run it are fucking Polish, Eastern European, and so all the customers are black, and the fucking people behind the counter is fucking white, selling the fucking jerk chicken, rice, and peas. Like, what the? And it's packed. It's 24 hours open, 24 hours a day. Every time I'm in Camberwell, I pop in there to get myself a jerk chicken rice. You can get it in the box, so I take it back home.
And it's saran
I
wrapped
take it
and
back
it
home.
lasts for like 2-3 days.
And all that, I love planting, you know what I mean, and all of that sort of stuff, you know what I mean. So, I always pop in there whenever I get a chance, if I'm in that part of the world because of my cabbing. So yeah, and it's 24 hours, so it doesn't matter what time I go there.
Yeah, another
So,
place.
yeah.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I haven't been there in
Yeah.
a while. But yeah. All right. I love it when conversations turn to food. It's always great.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. In Kyoto, it's not common. Fair enough.
No, we've
Yeah, it's
already been there.
regional,
You're
isn't
so
it?
slow with the comments, dude. It's
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
Oh, I'm so fucking sorry.
You're like the
Silly
uncle
me.
that shows up late to the party and starts a conversation that happened 20 minutes
Yeah,
ago.
it starts a
God
conversation
damn it.
about politics when we've all talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello,
so
fellow
glad you
students.
got another big
We're-
Glasgow.
we're-
Yeah,
okay,
how
so
do you
where are
do,
we-
fellow students?
where we're all from. Well, we'll go from myself and Jose and onwards. I'm from London, England.
Denver, Colorado.
I'm from Manchester, but I live in Scotland.
North London.
I'm from the good old state of Ohio, from the United States.
Very nice. That's
Borat.
like Borat.
It's a Borat, yeah.
You like? I go to America.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
so TV/film.
Wait a minute. Are we getting back
Secret
on track?
Invasion's
Hold on.
coming
Why
out
is
soon,
boss?
isn't it?
Why are we getting back on track?
Yeah, how
What
dare
was
you,
the track?
boss man?
Sorry.
Okay,
Where-
just
where-
let's
where-
just
where
be
were
clear
we?
here. If I don't know who's seen the Flash, I want to make sure nobody spoils.
I have not.
anything.
So if y'all are going to talk about it, I'll
I've
go
not
ahead and
seen
go.
it.
No, I won't say anything because yeah, just to get.
I've seen it. Maybe we should leave it till next week.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, leave it till
Let's
next
leave
week.
it till next week.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
I'm not
leave-
going to
we'll
say
leave the
anything.
Flash.
No opinions. People know my opinions on Facebook, but won't say anything here. Tune in next week when there's a review.
Hey guys.
Yeah, by that time
I
everyone
wanna-
has seen
I want
it.
to share something really quick. I have found my new wife.
Go on.
Let's see.
Exam is always snoring. And Cheeto's always late. How did he... Okay.
Come on, share your wife.
Hey,
I am. I'm
I've-
trying.
I've-
Just give me a second.
God damn, you're so
This
slow.
is my
Oh.
this is my new wife right here.
A tray.
I mean, I want
She
to
sounds
hear
like
her.
a bitch from the ghetto.
I don't know, but
Tray.
she's wearing a Star Trek uniform. I'm on it. I'm gonna start commenting on her
Can
stream.
you
I'm
put the
about to
And
volume
let
up?
you
also,
guys
it's got
go.
quite big assets.
Thank
I'm
God
not
it's
even- she's
Friday,
wearing a Star
Captain
Trek
Picard
uniform.
Day.
Who cares about her tits?
I do.
Yeah, you'd bang a dude in a Picard uniform, you don't
Right?
care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Go on, Gary.
I
Then,
think
if we're not talking Flash, that's great. TV and film. Only because I didn't want to spoil it for
All
you.
right. So, isn't Secret Invasion coming up soon?
What?
21st of
yes.
June.
21st.
Yes,
Secret
next
Invasion.
week, Wednesday.
Mate, it's just too much. It's too much stuff coming out.
All
on
right.
Wednesday.
Let's talk about. Is that?
I've
Yeah,
seen.
yeah,
Well, all right. Let's talk
Fine.
about the
Sorry,
trailer
sorry,
for
but-
the animated series
Bossman,
of Babylon
Bossman.
5.
Sorry, I just want to say that on Wednesday there'll be Dark Side of the Ring, Strange New Worlds, and fucking Secret Invasion. It's just ridiculous. How
Yeah.
we're gonna do all of that. So
Mhm.
It's very simple. Don't watch Star Trek. Just, you know.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry. It's what we do. It's who we are.
What are we talking about? What?
Nothing. Nobody cares. Well, what's getting the views? Star Trek gets you views, right?
Star Trek, yeah. Marvel
Dark
and
Side of
Star
the Ring.
Wars.
Dark
Yeah.
Side gets us views.
It's
Dark
Dark
Side,
Side getting views.
wrestling, Star Trek. Actually, any Disney Plus stuff never gets us views.
Then fine. Then you prioritize what gets you views. If the Marvel stuff is not getting us views, you can fucking bring it out whenever. It's not relevant.
Yeah, I mean, we can do Marvel stuff on
I agree.
Friday, and it
You
won't
can bring
matter.
out
Honestly,
Friday afternoon, whatever.
Friday we're doing this. So Saturday.
Yeah,
maybe.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could do it before.
So what do we
hours
do for a
before.
living? I'm a London cab driver. Jose?
I am a
No.
director of rehabilitation and occupational therapist.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, and I do lots of porn. So if you recognize my face,
All I could disclose is that I work for a charity. I cannot say the name because I have to.
he
protect
donates
where I
all.
work.
He donates a lot of semen.
Yeah, that's it.
More semen than blood.
Yeah.
Gary is a fucking WWE superstar.
No, I'm trying to be a wrestler. That's what I'm trying to do. No, but I actually work in a college 9 to 5. I work in a. We do transition college students from overseas from us to the uni. So basically, we're like their year one, and it's going for us to go into do. She's a GA,
Lovely.
but that's
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That sounds nice.
Irish in our group. Sorry, go on. Sorry,
Oh.
Jose.
I help run meetup groups for disabled people, so that's kind of what I do for a living. I bring disabled people
awesome.
together.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. As somebody who used to work with the disabled, I'm really happy to hear that people like yourself are doing that.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there no Irish in the
There's
group?
no Irish in the group.
No, there's no Irish around here. I'm sorry to tell you.
Nope.
Oh look, I want to quickly tell you guys my first ever
no,
Karen.
I
think I'm Irish.
I had a Karen in my cab yesterday. I couldn't fucking believe it, and it was actually the reason why I changed my. It was the reason why I ended up changing my car, because I went to pick up this lady, and I arrived 20 minutes early, and whilst I was waiting for her, I was just doing my own thing, and then she finally comes out. She jumps in my car, and I go to her, "I'm really sorry, madam. The air conditioning is not working." And she goes to me, "Well, that's not good enough." You know, and
Oh
I
yeah, the
realized
Karen story. Here we go. I've
Yeah.
been waiting all stream for this.
And she goes to me, "That's not good enough." And I go to her, "I'm really sorry." He goes, "Well, you could have told me this. That you could have told me that your air conditioner is not working. You've been waiting here for 35 minutes."
Bitch.
Well, she was quite slim actually.
I was talking about you,
But,
mate, not her.
But she goes to me, "You could have contacted me earlier," and I wasn't aware this was going to be such a big deal. You know what I mean? This is the first time I've had somebody lose their shit over.
Yeah,
this
it's
sort
not
of thing.
often we get Karens over here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just quickly, Suzuka says, I'm a drum major for Kyoto Takibana.
Nice.
Okay, I
That's
need to Google that.
Sweet, man. Lovely.
So
So,
I
Karen,
did.
It's 10-2 or something like that.
yeah.
Anyway, so she then goes to me, "Well, this is not good enough. You know, I need another car." And I go to her, "Okay, then." So I just pulled over, and then she wants me to somehow arrange the other car for her. But I told her, "Look, if you don't want me, then you have to book another car." And she goes to me, "Well, you don't. This is your mistake. You should book it." And I go to her, "Madam, I can't cancel your booking for you. You if this is your booking, you have to cancel it if you want another car. You know, this current booking." And then she goes, "Well, then fix the AC." And I'm thinking to myself, I can't fix the fucking air conditioning. I don't know. I told her I'm not capable of fixing the air conditioning. And then she's like upset about running late for her place and stuff like that. She can't drive in a hot car. I go to her, you know, maybe we could put the windows down. And eventually she kind of had to accept the situation. She rings up my work, you know, has a go at the people at my work regarding all of this. She's exaggerating stuff. Like, she says it's the hottest day of the year. It wasn't. The hottest day of the year was a couple of weeks ago, and she said that I've been waiting for 35 minutes when I've only been waiting for 20 minutes. You know, she's exaggerating stuff. And then she had a go at me again after she finished having a go at the people
He's
at my
ready
work.
to cut my head off.
After she had finishes having a go at people at my work, she then has a go at me, going to me, "You should have told me that, that your air conditioning wasn't working." I go to her, "Madam, I've already apologized. I can't apologize anymore. I'm sorry." You know what I mean? And then eventually she doesn't go on about it. And I'm just praying to God I could just drop her. But I'm dropping her in Soho, so there's gonna be a lot of traffic just getting there.
Oh
But
God, yeah.
I couldn't wait to get for her to get the fuck out my car. I had to pick up one more person after that, and then I was going to take my car to the garage so I can get the air conditioning repaired. When I picked up this next person, luckily for me, she was a lovely, sweet young lady. Didn't give a shit, and we talked about the Karen story. I told her about the Karen who was in my car. And then I finally went to my work, and they couldn't repair the air conditioning, so they gave me a brand new car. And this car is exactly the same model as my old car, but it's just 1 year newer. And this car hasn't been driven before. It's only got it has been since regarding testing. It's only got when I got it, it only had 19 miles on the clock.
Oh, nice.
nice.
So this time next year, the air conditioner will break again, so you can get a new car.
Then it's going to be all your fault. Yeah.
Well, the air conditioning was never that good in the first place, but it wasn't bothering me too much. You know, just I would open the windows and stuff like that. But when finally I had a customer who made an issue of it, you know, that's when I realized, okay, I need to change my car. You know, and so I did, and then now I've got a car with better air conditioning. It's more modern, it's cleaner as well. But I gave them back. My car was pretty dirty, so I gave them back my dirty car and shit like that. And I got this brand new clean car with better, more mod cons to it. It's pretty much the same as my old car, but you could just tell there's a little tweak here and there. You know what I mean?
Breaking news. We have breaking news. Greece beat Republic of Ireland 2-1. So suck on that. In European qualifiers. Okay, back to normal.
And England beat Malta 4-0.
Well,
I had no idea
should have beat them longer than that. Huh? Well, because you know, FIFA needs more games. They need lots more games because our players aren't allowed to have a rest.
No, but this was UEFA. This is not FIFA, but it's for the
same
for the
fucking
Euros.
thing. UEFA, FIFA, same shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
God forbid I play like it's you know, like you think like with American sports you play 3-4 months and then you get like a rest, whereas in the UK our players don't rest because as soon as the season's over they've got international duties to do.
No, but it depends on the sport as well. Like baseball, they play like 120 fucking games.
Yeah, baseball's every day.
Yeah, but baseball they just swing a fucking bat and just do like 2 minutes of work. You know what I mean? It's not like football. Like football and tennis are like high fucking, high what do you call it? God damn it!
Intense.
Yeah,
sports.
Very intense sports, and like those fucking things, like people
Stamina.
playing, like the stamina has to be like insane. You know, at least with American sports, you've got advert every 2 minutes, so you can stop playing.
That's why they designed it. Actually, when they got the MLS, they were trying to recreate football in America so they could somehow fit more advertisements in it. Now, what they do when you watch soccer in America is that they'll just shrink the screen and then they'll put a fucking commercial underneath the screen, or they'll split the screen like here's the football, here's a fucking commercial. I mean, they fucking figured out a way of getting commercials in during that 45-minute runtime, because 45 minutes of no commercial must be unheard of for American people. You know what I mean? There's a fucking commercial. There's like a fucking commercial every 5 fucking. That's one of the reasons why I lost my mind. Like when I was watching stuff in American TV, like there's a fucking commercial. There's more commercial breaks than there was actually the show I was watching. You know what I mean? It's unfucking believable.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
In the UK, you're only allowed 3 adverts within an hour. That's it.
Yeah.
And,
exactly.
I was going to say, can we talk about the new Babylon 5 animated trailer? Because I have thoughts about that.
Go for it.
Are we able to show it?
No, I wouldn't. Just in
I
case.
wouldn't.
Okay, fair enough. Go on then, boss man.
Well, I'm so hyped for it because Babylon 5 is my jam. You know, like as much as I love Star Trek, and I do love Star Trek, Babylon 5 is always better to me. Cool. And you know, I like the fact they're still continuing the sort of storylines from the original thing, but in animated form. The only slight thing I've got against it is the voice acting's a little bit bad.
A little
But I
bit
can
bad.
kind of forgive
Oh, it was awful. It put me right off.
Yeah, because like, I mean, I can't even replicate it. So like, we're talking like this. The Alpha Centauri and the Downfall. It's like no.
What?
no,
What was that like?
I'm sorry, Suzuka. I was trying to win over my new wife. Sorry.
Not
about
you, Cheeto, the other Cheeto. Because look, don't forget, he doesn't know who we are, so he thinks the other guy's called Cheeto.
that. Oh yeah, that's
Oh
right.
yeah,
Look, I did not change your
I am
name.
a talker. Yeah, you see what you did? You see
No,
what you
I did.
fucking
No, I
You-
did not. I had that as because yesterday when we did our Star
I'm
Trek
Zam.
review, Mage had his thing set as a mage is always on time, and then I set my thing for a Cheeto is always late. So that it just carried over from yesterday for you.
No, I actually no. I actually changed my fucking name.
You
Yeah, I
changed
mean,
it. Somebody
so-
changed it back to a Cheeto is
Yeah.
always late.
Yeah, I think it's because
Just
you
know,
got booted
Zuka,
out.
I am Zam. ZAM. You know what I
Because
mean?
when he came, when Cheeto came in, that's when he was
Oh
changed.
yeah.
So when I saw
Okay,
that,
so-
I just changed mine to Azam is
Alright.
always snoring.
All
So
right. Well, thoughts on Babylon 5. First of all, I hate that
Change your mind.
it's continuing as an animation. I want it set a couple of hundred years in the future, away from the timeline. That way, that's why everyone's dead. Secondly, although I hate that it's an animation, it might surprise us because it's Warner Brothers Animation, who are kick-ass. But the voice acting just put me right off. It was abysmal. So yeah, I'm not blown away by it. On the plus side, that it is an animation, it means I won't be heartbroken if it does suck, because it's often its own little genre in its own little animated corner. And if it sucks, then they can be like, okay, fuck it, we'll do a series instead. So those are my thoughts. Bubba, Jose, I don't know if any of you guys saw it.
No,
I
I have not
did.
seen it, so I don't know.
I did. I
Yeah.
just it looks like 100th episode. Like the time travel romp through all the stuff of the past. And it's
Yeah.
like it looks like 100th episode of something. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm not on board. I like the characters, but I don't think this is a good idea. I agree with Ginger. I don't think it should be hundreds of years in the future. I wouldn't mind them doing like in real time, kind of like they did with Picard, where it's like 30 years later, and like, you know, yeah, there's some people that are dead and passed on, and
No,
people
but the
kind
whole you can't do it though, because the whole cast is like most of the cast are dead.
no, but that's what I'm saying. It would be set 30 years, so then they would have aged 30 years in the show.
But they're dead. If you're talking about doing a live action show,
Yeah,
but
not
the cast-
everybody is dead. Any returning cast members would just be older now, because the show would take place.
which
30 years
returning
in the-
cast members? They're literally all dead, except for two.
Okay, well then two people would return. I don't know who's alive and dead from Babylon 5. I know Garibaldi's dead.
Walter
I know
Cohen.
Glenn is
Walter
dead.
Cohen.
They're all dead. Like
didn't-
the fucking
Sinclair is alive.
Yeah, but Sinclair has a lot of mental health issues.
Okay, well then set it. Yeah, okay, then set it 80 years in the future and do a next
Yeah.
generation on it.
Was it close
Yeah,
dead?
it has to be next year. Normally I
shared it.
wouldn't say that. I'd say bring back the whole cast, but they're all fucking dead. Like, you know, yeah, Mira Furlong's dead. I think Bruce Boxleitner passed away as well.
Really?
No, but Truck was still alive.
Oh no, he's still alive because he's doing the fucking voice. What am I talking
Yeah,
about?
Michael
I was
Hare's
about to
dead.
say, like the Sinclair.
Michael Hare's
whoever-
dead.
Yes,
Bruce
the guy who
Boxleitner,
plays
if he
Sinclair.
died,
Jerry
I don't know about
Doyle.
that.
Yeah.
He was in Tron, wasn't he?
He was in Tron.
Yes.
He was in the Crazy Like a Fox or some shit like that. That series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Jakara's dead. Yeah, Richard Biggs, the guy who played
Oh, I forgot
Stephen
Jakar,
Franklin.
the actor who played Jakar died. The guy who plays the Centauri. What was his name? He's alive.
God, what was his fucking name?
Alpha
I think he's actually
Centauri.
voicing
Peter
the,
Jurassic.
yeah, I think
London
he's-
Molari. Yeah, he's alive, but he's 73. But I think Bill Murray's still alive, but who gives a fuck about
But as
him?
I said, I don't want it to be like a Picard where it's like all of the old cast are coming back together. I'm just talking guest stars, like guest appearances, whatever, you know.
No, I get you. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, like I wanted
Yeah.
to
I
paint
mean,
it
you
from-
could have, like, yeah, you can have and explain that they died in battle or whatever. So
Yeah, like I don't. Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, isn't the doctor? Is the doctor alive or dead?
No,
The
he
one-
died. He died in 2004.
Really?
He was the first guy to die.
The doctor?
Yeah, the black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died back in 2004, mate.
Wow.
He had a lot of problems. Yeah.
Oh, I did not even know that.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, played Dr. Franklin. He died.
Okay.
Yeah. He was the first one to bite the big one, unfortunately. No, was it him or was it Gatsulas? No, it was him.
He's dead.
Yeah.
I wonder if Aragorn wannabe still alive. The Ranger guy.
2004, man. Well, that's no age. 44 years old. That's terrible.
God,
Even
that's young.
I mean, Stephen First
Oh,
is dead as well. You know, the guy who played the Veer.
Well,
He's
Viggo
dead.
Mortensen was in Babylon 5.
What's that?
He said the Aragon.
No, not Viggo Mortensen. The guy that he
Jason
looked,
Carter.
yeah, he looked a lot like
Marcus Cole.
Yeah,
He-
the character
yeah.
was almost a blatant ripoff of Aragorn, though, from
Yeah.
like Aragorn in space.
But he
Oh, really?
he died in Babylon 5.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he sacrificed himself to save God, what was her fucking name?
Delenn?
Ivanova.
Oh, Susan Ivanova, yeah.
Yeah.
Is she still alive? I mean, come on, like
She's alive. Yeah, Claudia Christian is alive. Yeah.
But anyway, I agree with you that it definitely should not take place like this looks like it is. It's taking place a couple years after Babylon 5 ended. I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want that either. Oh no, Michael O'Hare Sinclair died in 2012.
Mm.
Yeah, let me see. I think Jeff Conway is also dead. Yep, he died as well. Zach Allen, he died. That's what I mean. Like most of the cast is just gone.
That's like the Different Strokes effect, where it was
and
everyone was on that show, and then people are dying left and right.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but without Delenn and Veer and Jakar and all of that, forget it. And no Franklin and all this and Doyle, Garibaldi. There's just I wouldn't want it. I would just say completely brand new. Just start over. Call it, Babylon 6 or Babylon fucking Exchange or Babylon Yaman, whatever you want,
Babylon, we're still here, or DS9, we're still here, suckers.
69.
DS69.
Yeah, DS69. And then just, do that instead. So, anyway, do love a good Babylon 5 chat. Okay.
Yes.
So shall we finish this off by talking about Mr. Trump and his indictment?
Everyone's favorite.
Do you really fucking have to talk about his
I
indictment?
was about to say, if you guys are going to talk Trump, I'm out. I don't
really give a fuck about his indictment, if I'm being honest.
You know what? It's not really his indictment. What I find fascinating is the supporters, because
here we go. We'll put the person on screen who cares most about this.
Thank you.
We'll give you your platform.
Take it away,
come on.
baby.
Go.
No, bring it back. Come on.
Oh,
Bring it back. Swing it back.
Where have you guys gone?
we're here.
Can you hear me?
We're here.
Oh, look.
There we go.
I'll put you guys like this. Where the fuck is where the hell is Jose?
Where'd Jose go?
There we go.
I hear him. He's still there. He's sitting there laughing.
That's hilarious.
Look, for me, like the amusement is coming from the supporters. Not see what you did. There we go. It's just the supporters who are in denial that he's done anything wrong, and a lot of them are obviously deflecting, but they're going, why wouldn't? Look, regarding like Hillary and Hunter Biden, all of that,
like, where's the newsflash here?
Yeah, dude, you're not telling us anything we don't already know. Like,
his fans are like he can literally murder their spouse and they'd still
love him. Yeah,
They'd be like, it was for the greater good.
Yeah.
It was for the tax breaks.
she had to die anyway. Yeah, that's how it was.
Somebody think of the rich people.
apparently 80% of Republicans now support Donald Trump.
Of course they do.
after his indictment
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Great,
Which
because
is
it's definitely going to stop DeSantis, and DeSantis is 10
He's
times.
he's almost just as bad. Yeah.
No.
He's just as bad.
he's worse. He's worse.
Let's make this perfectly clear. DeSantis is worse.
Yeah,
He is
he's
a
worse.
literal Nazi,
Yeah.
a literal fascist. And if he became president,
We'd all be fucked. Yep.
It's game over. It's fucking game over.
Yep.
So I'm
Look what
very
he's done to
happy.
Florida.
Trump's popularity growing is a good thing, because then it means that he'll likely lose when he runs.
Yeah, but do we really want? Granted, we don't want DeSantis, we don't want Trump, but really, Biden? God damn! Like I can't.
I know him too. He's fucking old as shit. He takes a nap mid sentence like.
Well, let's
there
hope
are other
Cornel
people.
West can
Marion
do some kind of
Williamson.
challenge, because you've got Cornel West is running for the Greens now, and he's a fantastic socialist.
Marion Williamson is also really good as well.
Marion Williamson's on there.
Bernie Sanders as vice president.
Yeah, they're trying to suppress her as much as they can, and Robert Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are alternatives if you guys, had the opportunity to look for them, because I mean, fucking, we know about them and we're not even in your goddamn country.
I vote for
alternatives.
alternatives.
You know what I mean?
I don't vote red or blue.
Yeah, I'm more independent myself. I'm not.
If Green is on the ballot,
I vote for
Green. I'll be
I
voting
vote
Green.
I vote for Labour because
You're in Scotland. If you vote for Labour in Scotland, you're a moron. If you vote for them in Manchester, it's different, because you've got a nice.
I don't want to vote for the SNP.
Huh? Why not?
I don't want to vote for this because they're separatist cunts. That's why. That's the reason I don't want to.
So you don't want an independent Scotland. You want them to suffer with the rest of us.
No.
I mean,
wow. What the fuck are you doing in Scotland then?
I like living here.
You like living there? It'll be a lot better once you gain independence.
And then you join the
Westminster
EU
won't
again.
be stealing all your fucking money. Hey!
What
cat?
Hey!
That's his cat. I know that sound anywhere.
Damn it. Fucking cats. Fucking. 1 second, I'll be right back.
It's not wrestling with your cat, Ginger.
Damn it, Garfield. Damn it, Odie.
Goddamn cats.
Yeah, look. This is the thing, though, boss man. The United Kingdom has separated from Europe by leaving the EU. Scotland didn't want that; they voted to remain. So what Scotland wants to do is to leave the United Kingdom and join back with the EU. And trust me, that's much better for you, boss man, than being part of the UK, because being part of the UK is shit right now. You should be all over the fact that Scotland wants to leave the United Kingdom and be part of the EU. It's a much better fucking deal.
It's not my cat. It's not my cat fighting. It's two other cats.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, you got so much pussy in your house. It's not even funny.
Yeah. What's that?
You got so much pussy in your house. It's not even funny.
Exactly.
Yeah. Scotland is its own country. Your tax money will then be used within your own land. You won't be spending tax money on fucking.
Well, hang on. It's not his own land. He's English anyway, so of course he doesn't want Scotland.
No, within the land that he lives. Sorry,
if he was Scottish, he'd want independence, because he'd understand how shitty it is being under English rule.
No, but even if he's not Scottish, living in Scotland, you'd want independence. You know what I mean? It's just better for you, dude. It's just better for you. I mean, if I could,
I'm just pointing out that it'll look. As much as people, it's the same thing as Brexit, right? People do not understand the reality of what that will mean, because people are thick, right?
No. Again,
wait. Let me explain.
All right. Go on then.
Then finish.
Okay, go on then.
Please. All right. The Scotland's biggest partner in regards to trade and trade deals is the rest of the UK. Like the European Union was one of the biggest trade unions for the rest of Britain. That will have a financial, but if we start putting a hard border across Scotland, just like we put the hard border in front of the UK for the rest of the EU, it had a detrimental effect, and it's still having a detrimental effect. It'll have a detriment on the economic background, because the thing is, as much as Scotland wants to delude itself, it'll be going to the EU. It won't. Okay, it can delude itself all it wants. It won't, because the EU has said he will not think about having a country as small as Scotland inside of it. It has said that as clear as you can say anything. You'll have the UK, because the UK is quite a big trading bloc. Scotland isn't. That is reality. You can disagree with anyone. That is reality. Okay.
I hate to say it's a good argument.
But Scotland generates around 60 to 70 billion a year, and it gets 10 billion back from Westminster. If it keeps the fucking money that it has, then it's got a lot more money for itself. At the moment, it's getting stiffed. And not only that, Westminster is saying to the Scottish people, we know that you could generate enough money to get through all the hardships, but you know what? Fuck you. Here's austerity. Here's all the same shit that the rest of England is going through. And just because Britain is like Scotland's biggest trading partner, the only reason that there would be blocks put against there is because of pettiness by the English, which is exactly what the EU did with the UK. But that's because that's what the rules are there for. But if it still benefits Scotland going independent. There are no benefits. It's the same with Wales. There are no benefits staying with England, because England is literally taking the money and it's not giving it back. Why is it not giving it back? Because the majority of those constituencies in those countries are not Tory. So people always make this argument, oh, the Scottish are deluding themselves and all this kind of shit. It's like, it can't be any fucking worse than what it is now, because this is rock bottom. It's rock bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it can't be worse than it is now. Yeah, you're right.
You know.
And you know what? You make a compelling argument too. Actually, I thought you made a good argument, Gary. But hearing Ginger's rebuttal, the fact that your money, the money that's generated through your taxes, doesn't end up in England.
It won't go to England. They'll keep their money. They'll keep their oil money
in Scotland.
And splitting that money amongst its population, especially as it wouldn't have privatization like it does in England, it could go a long way. Okay, it can go.
No more money going to the royal family either. That'd be much better for you guys.
People are seeing the Scottish situation and they're comparing it to the current capitalist market, which is not how Scotland will run its economy. Okay, and the SNP aren't even like fully left wing; they're like centre left, but they are not going to run their policies and have their country run the same fucking way this ultra capitalist nation is running itself. So I'd say you've got nothing to lose going independent.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, for sure.
England, like the UK, is the worst performing economy in the G20, in the G7, in the EU, in Europe. You fucking name it. We are the worst We're worse off than Greece, and Greece is fucked. Okay,
we all notice how everything's become expensive now. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know, everything's expensive in this country.
Oh yeah,
it's ridiculous. Now, in terms of rejoining the EU, I wouldn't. If Scotland gets a chance to do trade deals with the EU, fine. But I wouldn't tell them to. I wouldn't encourage them to rejoin the EU, because as soon as they join the EU, what's going to happen? The EU are going to be like, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to do just like the English. You have to put austerity in and privatize everything, because that's exactly what the EU wants to do in Ukraine. That's what they did to Greece. That's what they tried to do in Cyprus, and Cyprus told them to go fuck themselves. Okay, I don't like the EU. I despise the EU. It only benefits countries like England, Germany, France. Scotland should definitely not join the EU. I mean, look how fucking expensive shit is in Ireland. Like the house prices in Ireland, just buying a pint in Ireland, it's ridiculous. So, you know. And the more you weaken England's power, the better. That's the reality. Like England needs to become its own little dead fucking bourgeoisie.
Well, the
they-
Tories keep running this country into the ground. It'll be fucking weak as fuck anyway. I mean, they're doing their very best to fucking destabilize this
Well, the
country.
thing is that the Tories are going to be out of power because I think they're going to be out of power for quite some time. Because the thing is that the way that
I'll believe it when I see it. Look, I'll believe it when I see it.
They-
And I know,
they will be
obviously,
out
the
of
local
power.
elections.
but they're just going to get replaced by, like, Keir Starmer is just as bad as the Tories, just as bad. He's not going to repeal anti-protest laws. He's not going to repeal any kind of shit that the Tories are doing. He's gone back on every pledge that he lied to get into power. So we're literally swapping Tories for Tories. So the Tories don't need to be in power. As long as the rich are profiting, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter who's in power, as long as it doesn't disrupt the status quo.
And boss man, it's very easy for Tories and right wingers to infiltrate other parties and do what Keir Starmer did to Labour. So, that's what concerns me the most when it comes to alternative parties. Just get some right wingers to infiltrate them and turn them into, bastardized versions of the fucking Tory party.
And if they don't do that, they just weaponize shit against them.
Yeah.
But the problem, the point is that, like, what I was bringing up before was that the points I was bringing up before are legitimate points that we have to think about. You can't just go into something thinking, oh well, it'll be sunshine and joy. There's going to be a literal.
Look, it's not going to be rainbows and sunshine, but there's a lot of damage to be.
If Florida left the United States, there would be a literal, No, I was just making. It'd be like if Florida left the United States, there would be bad stuff on both sides. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I know, like people like Marjorie Taylor Greene has wanted to have succession herself, and says that like states like Texas.
Good, get the fuck out.
If California seceded from the United States, it'd be the 6th largest economy in the world.
And Gary Newsom is not doing too much of a bad job there either. Like,
Texas would be one of the largest economies in the world if they seceded from the United States. So, it's not a fucking problem. Florida's different because of the policies they've put in. DeSantis has completely fucked Florida up, big time.
Yeah.
So if they left the United States, they're fucked. And
it's a tourism state, and they made it unappealing for tourism as well. Like they've really
literally telling black people don't go there. It's a white supremacist state.
Yeah, don't go to Florida.
Yeah. So
exactly, they got confronted. Like I heard, they got sundown towns and all of that shit now. Like they are going so fucking backwards there. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And
my argument would always be as well, Gary, is never ever ever accept the status quo. Because whatever they tell you, they'll tell you the status quo is good, but the status quo is the problem. And Scotland, from all the fucking stuff that I've read and seen, they'll be just fine. They'll be just fine unless you get shitty shenanigans going on. But England needs all the fucking trading partners it can get. So I doubt it's gonna scupper that with Scotland over like petty shit. I wouldn't put it past them. I doubt they'd go that far. So yeah, but I can't see it happening. I can't see Scotland going independent. It's just not going to happen in our lifetime. And the Welsh fucking forget it. They 1 minute they don't know what the fuck they want.
Fucking be happy, Gary. They're not going to go independent anytime soon. So your worries are nulled. I mean, even though they should.
You can live comfortably. That you'll still be living under neoliberalism.
He says as a socialist.
Yes, it's called being ironic, you dumb fuck.
And he's saying it for you, not for him.
Yeah, he's saying it for you, not for me.
So.
I mean, say that though, the S&P was a ridiculous surgery just got done for financial fraud. So how?
Yeah, that's what you call an actual witch hunt. That's an actual witch hunt. They released her because they had nothing on there. This is kabuki theater. This is just to send a message to the Scottish to say, hey, you don't fuck with us. We'll do to you what we're doing to other countries, and just going to rob you of your democracy. We've seen the media attacks on the S&P. We've seen how people go after the S&P all the time. Yeah, they're not perfect. They're not great. They're as dumb as everyone else. But, they're nowhere near as fucking bad, and their policies are actually pretty damn good compared to England. And the English don't fucking like that. And of course, there is the threat of Scotland going independence, but they have the courts on their side to block these kind of referendums. And why you need a court system to fucking approve your independence is just ridiculous and undemocratic anyway. You just hold another referendum and you drop it home to say, look, England has fucked us every which way from Sunday. We cannot stay with these idiots. Let's go it alone. And I will fucking cheer. I'll be like, yay, less power for the English, less money.
Well, man can
All
dream.
right.
Yeah.
Well, that seems to be a decent amount of talk. Anybody got anything else to say regarding the last 7 days or anything at all? Basically,
did you guys talk Ubisoft?
No, we didn't.
No. I'm glad you mentioned that. Bring it up.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Ubisoft had their Ubisoft Forward, which is fucking ironic because they've gone so backwards. They're like the Flash going back in time. Right. Okay. So yeah, Ubisoft did their Forward show, and I'll start with they showcased the Avatar: Return to Pandora, which is basically Far Cry Avatar, which it looks all right. You know, if you like Far Cry and you like Avatar, this is what you're gonna get. I don't know if you guys saw that game at all.
Nope.
Yeah, I saw it. The Avatar first person.
Yeah.
It looks fucking atrocious, mate.
Okay. Well, there you go. Gary, did you see it?
No.
You're not missing out.
You're in the land like Pandora, and you make a fucking first-person shooter.
Stupid.
I mean, like this should be a land of discovery and mysticism and stuff like that, and you make a first-person shooter. It's like so. What the fuck? You want to be roaming through the jungles and sticking your ponytail in all types of shit. You know what I mean? Climbing the fucking floating rocks and all of that. Not fucking running around with a fucking AR-15 or whatever.
Exactly.
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna dip out, guys. I didn't watch Ubisoft at all, and I figure you're wrapping after this, so I'm gonna dip out.
All right, mate.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Then we got 50,000 Assassin's Creed games. Or was it 2? I think it was just 2. Which Mirage, which is a nice return to the classics.
Well, they've got a few changes. I mean, they got the Jade game, which I believe is they've got the Jade game, and they've got one Assassin's Creed, which I think Jade might be the Chinese one, which is on mobile. Then they've got the Japanese one, which is an RPG game, which will more be like the more recent Assassin's Creed games. And they've got one called Hex as well, which I'm not so sure about. That one is
last I heard, Hex is like online only or some shit like that.
I'm not surprised.
It's been like a while.
But what is it exactly? Nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. But the more interesting one out of those was Mirage, which was a return. Yeah, return to the classic Assassin's Creed, which I know it's quite ironic, isn't it? Like we get the reboot with Origins, which was boring as fuck, and then we come back to what made the series great, and then it's just like this never-ending weird loop. I personally was not tired of the old Assassin's Creed stuff. Like I enjoyed Syndicate. I enjoyed the one before that, Unity, and Rogue and Black Flag. I loved all of that. Yeah, like Unity after it was fixed and all of that, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I bought the game for like fucking £5, something cheap, and I was like, oh, it's the best £5 I've ever spent. So I've seen Mirage. Obviously, I'll wait for it to go dirt cheap, but I'm definitely going to get that.
Yeah, that one's on my list. Yep.
Yeah. Just if you look, if this company is going to go all in on Assassin's Creed, that's fine. Give us a classic continuity of gameplay, okay, and then just do all the RPG stuff as well if you want to. Then that's a happy medium. Everyone gets what they fucking like, and I don't know. What you guys? Would you reckon? Would that be a good avenue for them to go down?
Here's what I want. Take me back to 2 with the physics and mechanics, and you got a happy guy. Because 2 was fucking amazing with the gameplay and the fluidity and all that kind of shit. I know the storyline and location is going to be different, obviously, but give me Assassin's Creed 2 with the controls, physics, and mechanics, and I will give it a thumbs up because I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed 2.
Hard to disagree there, yeah. Sam?
Yeah, I'm regarding Mirage. I mean, the way it looks, like dense environments, lots of people hiding in plain sight, hiding in the various hidden spots. I mean, that's really what you want from an Assassin's Creed game. The most recent ones have been about big battles and all of that sort of shit. Like, you're not even playing as an assassin, like, for fuck's sake. Like, you want to be some guy doing all the stealthiness and all of that. So I'm very happy to go back to its roots. Regarding the future games, is to be seen. How I mean, like, playing as a ninja, if you're an assassin, a ninja in that Japanese game, maybe they could still respect how Assassin's Creed is supposed to be regarding stealth and stuff like that. But I can also see ninjas being warriors and pulling out their blades and, like, getting into big battles with samurais and God knows what. It all depends. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima was involved. I still look at Ghost of Tsushima as the unofficial Assassin's Creed Japan.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. If this game could be, if Assassin's Creed Japan could be anything like that, then it's on a good thing.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
They do need to give each game its own sort of unique identity without necessarily straying away from the formula.
Right.
They got to get the balance right. Different settings,
well, you can
different
branch out,
periods,
like
different countries.
I mean, that's what I mean. Is like you can branch out, so you can keep the continuity of what made the Assassin's Creed games, and then if you want to do all the new shitty RPG crap that they've put in, you could do that in a different world, and then you can have your online version, or all this kind of stuff. So if you do the variety and they don't all end up melding together and becoming one giant pile of shit, it's a happy medium for everyone.
Because I think what they need to do is go back to like 2, just with like the controls and mechanics and fluidity and stuff like that. Like, that was perfect. But if you want to change up other stuff like the storyline, the background, the characters, and all that, okay, I'm fine with that. I just want Assassin's Creed to go back to the way it was when it was at its peak during that time years ago.
Just in a different setting. Like I don't mind having the same game in a different setting and all of that. Like, but it doesn't mean just because. Go on, Sam. Sorry.
I want all the elements of all the previous Assassin's Creed games to be in some way used in future games. Like in 3 and 4, you're able to hide in trees and run up trees.
Right.
I don't see why that still can't be used in future Assassin's Creed games. And stuff like that. And
you take all the best parts of what made the game, and then you move forward with that, because like even things like crouching you couldn't fucking do for a lot of the Assassin's Creed game, and even the stealth elements in the earlier games were shit. So build more on the stealth stuff, and just give us what made it great.
And don't put certain attributes which were commonly used in previous games as something you have to unlock in future games. Like one of the things that pissed me off about Unity was that you would have to unlock double assassination. I mean,
that
you didn't
because they wanted you to buy the Helix coins so you could speed up your.
I gathered. I gathered that. But you're able to do double assassination in all the Ezio games.
Yeah.
In Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So in the last 5 games, you've been able to do double assassination, and all of a sudden you can't. You have to fucking pay for it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Stuff like that is not a good look for Ubisoft. I mean, I don't appreciate it. Stuff like that pisses me off. Like, you have to unlock air assassination. Like, so there'll be opportunities where you could air assassinate someone, but you haven't unlocked it yet. So it's annoying because you won't get that opportunity again later on in the game
and by the time you finally do, it'll be to where you won't give a fuck about it because you're like,
I grabbed
it for it. Yeah, now I don't need it. Yep.
Yeah, if too many things, like especially when you've got a story mode, there's only so far you can go in the story before you got less gameplay to to play, and you've now finally unlocked what you needed to unlock, but you can't use it that much because
That's what
you're already
pisses me off with a lot
halfway
of
through the
games.
game.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That's like collect these 300 orbs to get this achievement. It's like, why? By the time I collect 75% of them, my guy's maxed out. He can jump as high as he can go. Why do I need to collect these other 25 orbs?
Exactly.
That's that shit that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's just putting in blocks for just to kind of give you a reason to keep coming back or to extend your gameplay. It's just like, look, if the gameplay's fun, I don't need to work towards achieving things. I could just play through the game and enjoy myself and have fun with everything unlocked, for fuck's sake. I don't need why are you putting all these stupid restrictions in?
Yep.
But anyway, that's Assassin's Creed. Gaz, I don't know if you've got anything to say on that.
Not really. I've lost interest in the Assassin's Creed series, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
I don't blame you. No, I'm with you. Like I did like Origins. I
thought the best game they had. They had. I think it was a few years ago. Was Odyssey. I thought Odyssey was great, but then
I didn't mind Odyssey. I liked Odyssey, the Greek game.
Okay, you liked Odyssey.
Yeah, I like Odyssey too. But you know what? I also want is maybe a culmination to the modern day story. Like it just feels like they're dragging that. I mean, the story was quite interesting at some point, and I'm glad that in the way that they brought in a new modern day protagonist in Lala Hassan to give you that Desmond Miles sort of vibe to it. But it really needs to fucking come to an end. You know what I mean? You can always.
It's kind of like telling the same joke over and over again after the second, third time.
You should have one that is set in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, but not just that. But like in the future, regarding Assassin's Creed games, you could just have an Animus as a way of discovering, previous assassins or whatever. There doesn't have to be any sort of hidden agenda to it. Here's an Animus. Who would you like to play as? And all of that. So
you mean like that? Well, in that case, I don't even want the fucking future stuff. I just don't give me the Animus. Don't give me that stuff. Just put me straight into the.
I don't want that. I don't want that shit where you go back and forth. I'm like, it's one or the other. I don't want both.
That.
Yeah.
No, but the Animus is a clever device, but it makes it so when you do fuck up and stuff like that, it's a simulation, so you can try again, and that makes it quite
still
clever.
Have that in there, but I don't need to go into the future and find out what the storyline there is.
No, yeah, exactly. Exactly, but I would like the current storyline to come to an end. Finish the Templars. I mean, it needs to end because it just drags.
It's going on for way too fucking long. Yeah.
How many more fucking bodies do you need to find and jump into their history to find what God knows what before you finally resolve this fucking issue? The issue needs to come to an end. End it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they could do what they could do is like they could make it fun. But what was the one that was set in London where it was like you were two
Syndicate.
Yeah, Syndicate. Do something like that. That Syndicate game was pretty decent.
I loved the Syndicate game. Loved it. What's that?
What was the modern day story for Syndicate? I can't remember.
I can't remember the storyline, but you were brother and sister, and you were part of like these street.
Yeah,
gangs.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then at one point you get transported forward to World War One, and I loved that bit.
Yeah,
I really wanted them to carry on the story from them, but that's when they rebooted the series after that. But I can't remember the storyline. I barely paid attention once Desmond was gone, to be honest.
Well, they did the same with
Just
Unity.
the game.
You're in Paris, but the period of Paris you're in, there was no Eiffel Tower, so they had to throw the Eiffel Tower in there somewhere. So they made a World War II segment where you're climbing up the
World War One.
No, in Unity. In Syndicate it was World War One. In Unity it was World War Two.
You're right. Yeah.
He's right.
You're right. Yeah, shit.
But I just don't remember what the modern day storylines were for Unity and Syndicate. It's total blank.
I need to go back and replay those because it's been a minute.
I know the Unity one had the nice love story between the two characters, which was really good. But I just can't remember. Somebody comes and murders the guy's father and some shit like that.
One thing I want to see. I know this is a small detail. I'd like to see just replayable missions because I did like that in like Syndicate and Unity where you got to replay some of your like favorite chapters and shit like that. Like that was a cool feature. I'd like to see that come back.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, if you look online, there's a really good fan fiction of Connor and Arno getting together to kill Shay.
I've
Because
heard of this. Yeah.
Shay is in Rogue, and he ends up killing Arno's father at the beginning of Unity. At the end
Oh,
of
that's
the end
what
of
it
Rogue.
is. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously Shay was under the tutelage of
Connor.
Haytham, which was
Sorry,
Connor's dad.
Yeah.
Which was Connor's dad. So there is like a circular thing, and so
Yeah.
Connor apparently travels to France to meet Arno, and they get together to find Shay to kill him, because Shay basically, when he became a Templar,
Yeah.
he ended up basically killing off a shitload of fucking assassins.
That's right.
And Connor was one of the last. And when Connor became an assassin, he ended up killing a shitload of fucking Templars. You know what I mean? Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's funny how those stories never fucking met. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
It should have culminated where you could play as both of them. You could play as you could do a whole. They should have done it where you could do the whole story as a Templar and then the whole story as an assassin. Like that would have been fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah. Him and his girlfriend. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
that would have been brilliant. But oh well, what can you do? And then after that, we had the Star Wars game, which was Outlaws. Which, oh my god, I ranted about this already in my review or my thoughts or whatever it fucking was about the goddamn protagonist not shutting up and being quippy and having jokes or some smart ass shit.
This is something that Americans are not picking up on, because a lot of American people I've spoken to don't really notice that.
Yeah, they don't notice it.
They don't notice it. Yeah.
Shit.
It's so normal to them.
It's like, this is what we do. It's like, this is how we are as Americans. We'll say like shit like Peter Parker. Like, we'll be all quippy, and it's annoying as fuck.
No, but it's like, I'm gonna go in stealth mode now, and I'm gonna just start talking all the fucking time. Like what the fuck? Just shut the fuck up, bitch. You know what I mean? Break this guy's neck or whatever. But you don't fucking talk about it.
The first time the only two times I've seen people notice it was for Forspoken and Saints Row.
Yeah,
that's the only time people noticed it, because it was so bad there. But this game is just as bad. Like, she will not shut up. Like, shut the fuck up. Stop talking while you're getting shot at. Stop talking while you're shooting.
Can you imagine Solid Snake doing that? Oh my god.
Yeah, Snake talking like while he's killing people. Like, I gotta go up to kill this guy, and then I gotta get an alligator. Alligators taste like chicken.
Yeah,
but then Snake would be doing that in his old man Metal Gear Solid voice, like he's trying to take a shit. Like, every time he talks, he's like, "Hey, all right, I gotta get that alligator, and it tastes like chicken."
I think you're forgetting how thirsty Solid Snake gets.
Yeah, for real.
No, but in MGS 5, when you grab somebody and he goes, "Where's your friends? Tell me everything." That's when he talks.
Yeah,
when he's got a hostage. I mean, not any other time, and it makes it much more interesting.
Because what's he gonna say for the rest of it? Oh my god, the sand is getting everywhere. I hate sand.
Oh my god, I'm getting crevices.
Yeah, I'm crevices.
Sounding like this.
Or telling you everything they're gonna do. I'm going into this box now. I'm setting off this balloon.
It could have been dude, by the way.
I'm telling Americans to shut the fuck up. Their gender is irrelevant. It's Americans that need to shut the fuck up. This is what annoys me. This is a French company doing way too much Americana. Whereas, that's the other thing that annoys me with Ubisoft. Where's their French identity that they used to have? It's fucking gone. It's gone.
I can't wait to play the game now just to see what he's talking about, because that's going to be hilarious.
Jeez.
I think I know the two series we're going to do. We're going to have Zan play Final Fantasy 16 so he can fucking rant about the royal family and how much he hates them.
I'll get it.
And then we'll have Ginger. And then we'll have Ginger fucking play Star Wars just so he can
shut the fuck up. Shut up, bitch. Shut up. Yep. Which is ironic, because then I won't be shutting up.
Yep.
Yeah, but things that worry me about the game is the way the ships move in space look very stiff. I know it's open worlds, but
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
Is that what? Yeah, that's what I'm
That's what's going to
thinking.
worry me with this game, and I know like you know, getting in and out of a planet is just going to be like very specific. You can't land anywhere. You're going to have to land at certain hubs.
That's scary. That's stupid.
Yeah, and the open world's just going to be full of absolute nothing.
It'll be open cities.
Yeah,
I mean, open land areas.
And then you can walk into, and then it'll be like GTA where you can walk into these like 5 buildings, and it's like you got this big fucking
and
map.
Traversal's going to be non-existent. Like you won't be able to jump or climb or do anything fun.
Now,
So
if you did
like Division, basically very basic and shit.
Now, if you did like Star Wars with the Assassin's Creed mechanics, that'd be a game I would play. I'd be like, all right, cool. You're jumping around, doing some cool shit, traversing on buildings and stuff like that.
Traversing.
That'd be dope.
The only thing I'm fine with, Ginger, which I know you have an issue with, is the time period, because like going up against the Empire in any capacity, it makes them good antagonists when you're in this particular world. So as a smuggler and all of that, so I have no problem.
No, I mean it's not the be all end all. Yeah, that's fair enough.
5 and 6, 5 and 6 is a good tip period as well. Like everything's usually very early in the Empire period, like before 4, between 3 and 4, a lot of the fucking times. You know what I mean? So 5 and 6 is a good time. It's different.
Yeah, it's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker for me. I'd want to see in a different time period, but then I suppose it depends on the character you're playing, because playing a smuggler in a different time period, what doesn't really work. So I mean, it could work, but it's not the same. So that's fine. Yeah, I'm not that fussed.
Iron Fist Empire as well. They'll come down on you more than the Old Republic would. So yeah.
So that's fine. I'm not that far. For me, the most important thing is and will always be the gameplay, and I just I worry because what I saw is very very Ubisoft, the bad kind of Ubisoft.
Yep.
But,
well, I mean, I want it to be good because, like, frankly, if
me
it's
too.
Because I want because as much as I do like Jedi stuff, I do want kind of like Rogue Squadron, Shadow of the Empire, TIE Fighter kind of gameplay. And if they can do that, then that's fine.
I mean, like I said before, I'm happy they're not doing Jedi with this one.
Keep that its own thing.
Yeah. I'm also a little bit pissed off that they're doing human in this one. It's just like, come on.
Yeah,
we can break away from that mode.
I've learned to accept it now. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
They very rarely make
just
it
no
non-human.
Man. Just I mean, what would it be like? Like you could have done the game based around fucking Black Chrysanthemum or whatever his fucking name is. Just a big bastard or some weird agile flippy spinny alien thing. Or could have had more fun with it. But no, what do we get? We get the same thing: human protagonist. Cute marketable toy droid.
Yeah, for sure.
Just give me 4 drug-addled aliens trying to bang everything in the galaxy. And, I'll buy it.
I wouldn't mind maybe going up against maybe a Boba Fett during that particular time period as an antagonist or something like that. Maybe
could be a character thrown in there given the time period.
Yeah. Something along those lines. If you end up being wanted. If they have Inquisitors in that time period, I mean, maybe the odd one, then that could be somebody who can come after you. Who knows? But there's well, I mean, I'm keeping my fingers crossed because honestly, so far what I've seen, I haven't been blown away. I just think it looks bang fucking average at best.
Couldn't agree more.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
also. I knew just slightly diverged back to Xbox with Starfield. I knew people were going to be fucking hyped for this game. I know what we saw bored the living piss out of us.
Yes.
People are fucking hyped for this game like they never learn about Bethesda. I hope I'm wrong because at the end of the day, if the game is really good and there's no greedy micros in it, it's win-win for gamers. But
there's going to be micros in it, man. Come on now.
I'm telling other people that are hyped for it. I'm like, don't get hyped. It's Bethesda, man.
I mean, you and we all watched that 40-minute, whatever it was, that 40-minute flaming
the direct.
I think you mean the words suffered through it. Yeah.
Yeah, we suffered through it.
Yeah, the thing is, it's that like there's nothing in there that stood out to me as like because like certain games I can see as console sellers. Like for example, if someone wanted to say to me, "Tears of the Kingdom" is a console seller, do you know what? I can see it because there's enough good stuff in there that you can overlook the
Mate,
bad.
It's a fucking awesome game.
I've been saying to people, I said, if you want to buy, like, it's very rare I'll hype a game so much to say that you should buy the console just for this game. And I've only ever done it with two: Tears of the Kingdom and Infamous.
Yeah.
Infamous is why I bought a PS3 because
God,
it was
that's another one they need to come out with. It's time for them to remake Infamous or remaster Infamous because that is an underrated series.
Yeah, I mean that company were the ones that did Ghost of Tsushima. That's the same
Yeah.
company, Sucker
Yep.
Punch.
Mhm.
I'd love to see another Infamous game.
Yeah, it's time.
It's
it's
definitely time. It's Vader time.
It's Vader time.
So yeah, sorry, Gary, you were saying, or did you finish? I can't
I'm
remember.
saying, but there's nothing in that to me that said to me, this is why you've got to buy an Xbox, whatever they call it, the new Xbox over a PS5. Because to me, it looked generic as hell. It looked like they were trying to do too much. They didn't have a focus. Like for example, whatever you want to say about Tears of the Kingdom, it has a focus in the mechanics it has.
Yeah,
In those like kind of like special ability things. I think maybe to the detriment of trying to fix the actual fight mechanics. Whereas this,
yeah, that's where the detriment is. But I get what you mean with this
Yeah.
game. It's, but in their defense, I can't believe I'm saying, in their defense, they have to do this route because there have been many games before that do all this kind of stuff, and so Starfield can't come in and be one thing. It has to be a multitude of everything else that you see in other games, plus the Fallout element in it. Because all the other stuff you could do, there's plenty of games where you've got your ship, you can go around, build up your ship, build up your economy, all this kind of stuff. But what you can't do in those games is get out, roam around as a character, have a firefight with people, all this kind of stuff. So I get where they're coming from, but I'm with you in that I think it's just going to be a bit too much and a bit too like all over the place.
Yeah, it's going to be.
And one thing is going to suffer.
Yep.
And I think we've already seen what's suffering. And that's the stuff when you're in space. Like
The
that's
space
element that's gonna suffer.
the space combat is the thing I think people would be looking forward to, but it looks like it's just going to be so generic and basic.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah. So yeah, you
Well,
definitely
I
got a point
mean,
there.
if you played Squadrons, and you would know that
You
was
know
a
what it is.
fantastic-
yeah.
That was fantastic. I mean, so I give this game a little bit of a pass to a degree. I'm hoping you can change ship or upgrade your ship or both.
You
You
can.
know what I mean,
You can steal other people's ships and keep it.
and this one thing I like about this game and dislike about this game is the fact that it's a single player game, because I think a game of this scope could easily be played as an RPG as well as a single player game. You know,
yeah, online either PvP or PvE as well. You could
yeah.
do it.
Well, the thing is that like if you want to see how this sort of thing can be done well, look at, for example, Deus Ex, for example. I mean, the original Deus Ex. That is a
Mate, all of
game
the Deus
where
Ex
you
games
could
are
do,
good.
where you can approach it in so many different ways. You can not even have to fire a gun the entire game. I know it's a first-person shooter, but you don't have to shoot a gun the entire game. You can just try and like talk your way out. And stuff.
Oh, well, I've played through the whole game like non-lethal. Like
Yeah.
the Deus Ex Machina, the last one that they brought out, which was amazing. Which I'm hoping. I know for a fact that we're going to get more Deus Ex games now. Now that Endeavor have bought. Well, they own the property now. They bought Eidos Interactive or Core, whoever owns it. So you know they own it. Sorry, Gary, go on. But yeah.
But that's as I say, that's what like Bethesda should be doing. Is they should look at Deus Ex and say, right, we should make this game like that. Like you can have multiple approaches to how you deal with it, and the focus is just going to be on space travel and the on-world combat. I mean, you could have some talk as well. Just focus around that, and they could just make probably a much better game instead of trying to do all this crap that they always do. and make
Yeah,
it
all
worse.
the economy stuff, which is just like
Yeah.
fucking hell. Do I need all this crap? But again, if we know Bethesda, that's probably how they're going to nickel and dime you. Again, we've got to be ready for all the fucking micros that are going to.
You know they're going to bait and switch because they're going to start off with like, oh yeah, we're not charging you shit, and then a month later we're going to start charging you shit.
Well, no, I mean they've already alluded that there's going to be battle passes and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, of course
it's
there
just
are.
that they're saying, oh, it's all just going to be, you know, cosmetics. It's like, well, fuck you. Why is cosmetics now behind the paywall?
Yep,
You know,
because we got to nickel and dime you for everything you're worth.
Fuck's sake. Like I played the Spider-Man game, I unlocked all the costumes by just playing the game. It wasn't even hard.
Yep.
Yeah,
Great.
you can look all the costumes. You could unlock all your abilities by playing the fucking game.
Yeah,
Go old school.
And plus, the thing is that it had some. Sorry, I'm just going to go on about like the thing is that it also had like some submissions where you can unlock that stuff. Like if you get pigeons, or if you did all the
if you did all the side shit, yeah, you get like collectibles and stuff like that. Yeah, it would go towards stuff in the fucking game.
You should just have stuff in the game that you can collect that will kind of like power your tokens. You do that by actually playing the goddamn game.
Mm-hmm.
Or here's an idea. Remember cheat codes? No one here is old enough to remember cheat codes.
No, I never heard of a cheat code.
Up, down,
Cheat code.
down, left, right,
I
start
miss
select.
cheat codes.
Right.
Yeah.
I miss cheat codes from a game.
Yeah.
Miss it.
Because that's what I'd like to have come back as
Oh,
cheat
no,
codes in a
that's
video
right.
game.
Yeah.
That's right.
Even the new
NBA,
Saints
yeah.
Row didn't have them.
Yeah, Saints Row did not have cheat codes.
Yeah, it's just like fuck. That's what made part of the game fucking hilarious.
Yep.
I remember with Street Fighter 2, you before the logo came up, you would have to quickly press all the buttons in a particular way, and all of that, and then you hear the dun, and then you realize, okay, great, I've unlocked all the outfits now,
Yep.
and stuff like that, and you know, and that was something you'd have to learn. But nowadays, what the corporations have learned is that fuck doing that. We're going to make you pay for it instead.
Yeah.
It's much, you know, and paying for skins is stupid.
What game came out? It was Resident Evil, where they were selling you the cheat codes.
Yeah. Yep.
They were
Resident
literally
Evil's
selling
doing
you
that
cheats.
now. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be surprised with Resident Evil 4, the remake. They do a $5 DLC, unlock all this shit, and then it's like, you mean to tell me that I played this fucking game when all I had to do was wait a few months and I could have just unlocked infinite ammo for $5? Yeah, because that's how Capcom rolls.
Fucking ridiculous, man.
Yep.
Absolutely ridiculous. Nickel and dime you all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that's it on gaming.
I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, we're good to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
thank you all for joining us, and thank you, Zam, for hosting the show. I was at my brother's today, so I couldn't be asked to just
No problem at all. I'm not working tomorrow. In 12 hours, I do have to take my dad to the optician, but that's in 12 hours.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Hours. You'll be fine. Yeah, wait,
Yeah.
why did you have to take? Didn't you have to take him to the optician last week?
And I got to take him. The funny thing is, I took him today, and somehow they fucked up with knowing that he was supposed to be able to come back any day he wanted. And after last week, and so I brought him today, and they weren't able to take care of his needs, so they telling me to come back tomorrow, and he'll have his head measured so he can get glasses done for his face or some shit like that. Yeah, customized glasses.
All right.
Cool. You know what I mean? His eyes and all that shit measured and all that bollocks. So yeah.
All right then.
I'm doing that tomorrow and just taking the rest of the day off. Fuck it. I take another day off. I take him today off, I'll take tomorrow off. Fuck it.
All right.
You know what I
Sweet.
mean?
All right. Catch you guys later.
Yeah, see you guys later. Like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye-bye.